seconds. It is going to be in time! Game over!
The Brewers take on the Reds tonight at Great American Ballpark. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 5:35. This series is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategy. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 22nd. Your top story. A teen returns to court over the death of his mother.
I'm Jessica Ty. The disturbing reason a seasonal employee was just arrested.
Mixture of sun and clouds today and a high of 68 degrees. Little warmer inland. Should hit the 70-degree mark. Mostly clear tonight and a low of 53. It's 64 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, it's court day for a Wisconsin teenager charged in a Menendez brothers-inspired murder.
Reed Galinsky was supposed to begin trial today for one charge of first-degree intentional homicide. Now he has a hearing today instead to review his plea of not guilty by reason of insanity or mental defect. Galinsky was 15 years old when his mother, Suzanne Galinsky, was found beaten and stabbed to death in their Franksville home in March 2025. Prosecutors say he was inspired by the Menendez brothers documentary on Netflix and made plans to kill both of his parents. His father was not harmed. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A seasonal employee in Lake Geneva is under arrest today, accused of showing explicit material to a coworker who's a minor.
Police say 70-year-old Timothy Conley showed the material on a cell phone to a minor coworker while working at the city's municipal boat launch. The investigation began after the minor reported the incident to authorities. Police have forwarded a charge of exposing a person under 18 to harmful material to the Walworth County District Attorney's Office for review. The city says Conley has been fired for violating policies. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A long-awaited decision could come this afternoon on a proposed addiction recovery center in New Berlin. The city's Board of Appeals expected to announce whether the Milwaukee Rescue Mission can move forward with plans for a drug and alcohol recovery facility. The project would house more than 100 men at a time and has faced months of opposition from residents. The board voted earlier this month, but kept its decision private following a closed session meeting.
Congress is on the verge of passing a bipartisan housing package after months of often tense negotiations between House and Senate Republicans. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
The Senate bill would do, among other things, these are just four takeaways, but it would limit the way that private equity and corporations are now buying homes and trying to make profit off of them, driving prices up. It would scale back permitting. Mandatory permits. It would also incentivize local governments to build more houses. They could potentially get federal dollars to help them do that. And then there are going to be loans and grants for cities and states if they refurbished older abandoned buildings and abandoned homes.
The Senate will take a final vote on the housing package tonight. The House will vote on it later this week.
Alan Greenspan, an authoritative voice and the head of the Federal Reserve for nearly 2 decades, has died at the age of 100.
Appointed by Ronald Reagan, Alan Greenspan knew the global economy was changing, as he once told Congress.
It's becoming increasingly conceptual and less physical, more services and less physical goods.
Greenspan oversaw a period of unprecedented prosperity through the 1990s, but his policy contributing to the housing crisis and global recession of 2008. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Greenspan's wife said he died of complications from Parkinson's. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed results here today. The Dow is up about 200 points at 51,750. NASDAQ taking it on the chin, down about 300 points at 26,214. And the S&P is off about 20 at 7478. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Tick-tock, we're watching the clock. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 5 after 12.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. Stop me if you've said this before. I can't raise my arms. I can't climb stairs. I can't even kneel down. Can't play with my kids, can't golf with my friends, or even get through a work day without exhausting joint pain. Well, how about we start celebrating what you can do? That's what patients at QC Kinetics are doing. They're not dealing with the pain, they're living their lives. QC Kinetics and its game-changing regenerative treatments done right at their office means no surgery, no missing work, and no long recovery. The inflammation calms down and the pain backs off. You and I both know life is great and it's time to start living it again without that joint pain. Call QC Kinetics today. Here's the number, 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. Schedule your free consultation. They'll even meet you on a Saturday. QC Kinetics, 414-667-5559. Call QC Kinetics today.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we know inspiration's in full swing this time of year. So bring us your wild ideas and we'll bring the value on the quality supplies you need to make it happen at unbeatably low prices. Right now, during our lawn care sale, Estate Weed and Feed or lawn fertilizer, $5 off. 30% off select flower planters. Plus a 256-piece Craftsman Mechanics tool set, $99.99. Find value on everything to do your thing. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brandon Woodruff returns to the mound for the first time since April 30th as the Brewers begin a 3-game series against the Reds tonight in Cincinnati.
I truly have gone through everything, checkpoints and everything to put myself in a good position, so now it's just time to go out there and do it.
Brewers begin the day with a record of 46-29. Coverage gets underway tonight at 5:35. The NBA draft begins Tuesday night, and the Bucks currently own the 10th overall selection, but all the attention is on the future of Giannis after no deal was made over the weekend. ESPN's Brian Windhorst believes the Celtics and Heat are the finalists.
Miami in recent days has gone out to try to recruit third and fourth teams to improve their offer. They have what they have. They don't have a premium player. They don't have a Jaylen Brown. The most premium asset that they have to trade is the number 13 pick in tomorrow night's draft, which is a good piece, but it's not Jaylen Brown. So they have gone out to try to enhance their offer.
And the United States men's World Cup team advances to the knockout round of 32. The team will face Turkey in pool play Thursday night.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a handful of disabled vehicles dotting the system. One incident I want to let you know about. The camera is shut off in this one, so I can't tell you exactly what it is. But in case you're traveling that way, I do want to let you know there is an incident. 4394 north, about a mile beyond 4194 north. Right shoulder is blocked because of it. If I take a peek at our construction zones today, I do see, for the most part, not too bad. It looks like, well, 94 is getting a little bit slower as we speak here, actually. 94 west, headed around American Family Field and out to the burbs. That is getting slower right before you hit the ballpark, and then it clears up past Hawley. If you are headed eastbound on 94 around the ballpark, headed into the city, you're good to go past American Family Field, and then you'll just tap on the brakes a little bit right around 35th Street. But after that, it's clear.
Well, pretty nice day today. A little bit on the cool side, topping out at about 68 degrees close to Lake Michigan. We should hit the 70-degree mark, maybe a couple of ticks above that inland. Kind of depends on the sun. Right now, sun is shining. Pretty nice day. Some clouds could roll in here, but won't overtake the sky. Overnight low 58 degrees. It's 64 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Had a wonderful Father's Day yesterday. It was a really, really nice day.
That is fabulous. And the weather was a little mixed, but I saw a picture of you with the girls,
Yes.
and it looked like the sun was shining. So was that from Saturday? Or was that yesterday, and wherever you were, the sun decided to peek out?
So no, we were at, it was yesterday, so we had a softball tournament. My daughter plays softball, I coached her team, and we had games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we were out in the Mequon area. They had a wonderful tournament out there, really well run, and our first game was at 8 a.m., and it's one of those that,
the sun was out earlier, yeah.
If you win at 8, then you play at like 2, it's like, whoa. We could have a long day at the park. We won the game at 8, and we hung out until about 4 o'clock. We played the game at 2. Game was done, little round 4, do the whole post-game kind of stuff, and everybody's on their way. So it was a wonderful time on the softball field with all the dads, all the parents, everybody, the kids hanging out. Like, it was outside. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. Then we got to celebrate with my mom and dad at our house later that night.
That's great. My dad actually came from Mequon to downtown, and we celebrated in very Milwaukee style with some PBRs over in the Pabst area. That was fun. And yeah, had a great brunch. Normally we'd like to be outside, but because of the weather, we decided to be inside. But a very Milwaukee Father's Day. And to all the dads listening right now, happy belated Father's Day to you.
It's 12:11. Some big stories that we're following here this afternoon.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Oh, the clock is ticking on Giannis. Round one of the NBA draft Tuesday night. The Bucks are reportedly sorting through two very distinctly different offers. One from the Boston Celtics, one from the Miami Heat. ESPN's Brian Windhorst explains.
It's Jaylen Brown plus assets, potentially with another first-round pick, maybe the 27th pick in the draft. Jaylen Brown plus assets, to me, is a great trade. I would say, well, why has Milwaukee not done it? And I speculate that Milwaukee is trying to decide, do we want a team around Jaylen Brown, or do we want a total refresh where we can get maybe 3 first-round picks from Miami, pick swaps, young players, the 13th pick in this draft. They have the 10th pick. They could draft 10 and 13, or they could package those together and try to move up. Milwaukee's trying to pick a path of their organization.
So who is Jaylen Brown? Well, he's 29 years old, so he's a couple years younger than Giannis. He's a 5-time All-Star. He's an NBA champion. He's an NBA Finals MVP. Sounds familiar, right? I mean, he's got an incredible resume. He's a proven commodity in the league. The Heat don't have a Jaylen Brown. They can't offer the Bucks a Jaylen Brown. What they do have is a lot of young, talented, up-and-coming players, and they also have a lottery pick, the 13th pick in the first round of the draft. That's really their best asset right now they can offer the Bucks if it's a one-team-for-one-team trade. We believe that things could happen here over the next 24 hours. Usually with players of this magnitude, those deals aren't typically done butting up to the NBA draft because it kind of changes your draft strategy and who you're looking at and where are these picks going. There's just so much involved here. The draft begins at 7 o'clock Central Time on Tuesday night.
If these are indeed the two options that the Bucks are heavily looking at, they are very different options.
My goodness.
It will be interesting to see what happens here. Well, music producer and executive Clive Davis has died in New York City. He was 94 years old. In a 2011 Times Talk interview, Davis discussed what's been called a Midas touch in finding singers who became huge stars.
I never knew I had them. I never knew this was going to turn out to be a talent or a gift. It was a pure accident. It was a lucky break. It became a lifelong passion.
His greatest find? Whitney Houston. Davis's catalog of artists also includes Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind and Fire, Barry Manilow, Billy Joel, and Jennifer Hudson. Talk about a talent for finding talent.
That's incredible.
That is Clive Davis.
Yeah, no doubt. He was a fixture on American Idol throughout the years, too, right? That I was checking with Clive Davis on things. Like, he had a role in that, especially in the early going, right, as they were building that show. But he had his hands on just about everything of significance, it felt like. Well, peace talks continue today between the United States and Iran. This weekend started the clock on a 60-day ceasefire agreement between the two sides. So the window is open to negotiate a peace deal, but tensions remain high in the region. News Nation's Marky Martin reporting.
While negotiators signaled progress in reaching a roadmap to a final deal within 60 days, Iran's parliament leader this morning warning President Trump the Strait of Hormuz is, quote, not your personal casino. This after the president threatened Iran won't have a country if they keep closing that waterway. He also warned of new attacks if Iran doesn't stop funding terror proxies in Lebanon.
So remember on Friday of last week, we noted that Vice President J.D. Vance had not made the trip to Switzerland. It was believed he was going to make the trip. They were going to sign off on this memorandum of understanding. Well, that never happened. Things sort of broke down, and the administration said there were some travel delays and there were some issues in getting J.D. Vance out to Switzerland. Well, he is in Switzerland now as part of the U.S. contingent. Pakistan and Qatar are mediating negotiations. And meanwhile, the cost of a barrel of oil is down to about $75. You're seeing that reflected in the gas prices. But you wonder how long that holds, right? I mean, if this 60-day window goes by, could things spike again if there's no agreement reached? It's certainly worth following. But of note, gas prices are down about $1, roughly, over the last month and change.
There's a lot of back and forth on these peace talks, and some people are getting antsy.
Tim Sheehy joins us on the other side, senior advisor to the MMAC. What if Giannis gets traded? What will activity in the Deer District look like? We'll check in on the business impact of a potential Giannis trade after this.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You know, it's been more than 3 years since we got our garage door from J.D. Griffiths, and it still looks brand new. I'm telling you, it's quiet, it's smooth, and honestly, I didn't realize how much of a difference a quality door would make until we upgraded. J.D. Griffiths, they've been doing it for decades. They're local, trusted, and they handle everything. Try the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ. Schedule your free consultation from J.D. Griffiths.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home. Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Better be careful with the crew in Cincinnati. You might get caught red-handed.
Flair, shallow center, base hit. Marte's being set. Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time!
The Brewers take on the Reds tonight at Great American Ballpark. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 5:35. This series is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategies. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
I started our landscaping company, Brett Ochtenhagen's Seasonal Services, in 1994. We have other businesses, a trucking company, investment properties, and we board and raise quarter horses. I met Chris from Horicon Bank over 20 years ago, and we really hit it off. A few years back, we made our largest capital commitment ever. Chris understood our vision, supported it, and 5 years later, our annual equipment maintenance costs are down, and our fleet is amazing. Chris and Horicon Bank helped make that happen.
Horicon Bank, together doing good for 130 years. Member FDIC. Well, overall, pretty nice day. A little on the cool side here downtown. Mostly cloudy, partly cloudy skies, we'll call it. High of 68 degrees. Could be a little warmer inland. Mostly clear tonight, a low of 53. Sunny, beautiful on Tuesday with a high of 73. Chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 78. Some isolated thunderstorms are possible. Mostly sunny, a pop-up shower chance on Thursday, high 75. Sun and 76 on Friday. It's 64 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:18. And our Economic Spotlight is sponsored by Horicon Bank. Together doing good. It's horiconbank.com. Truly the natural choice. And member FDIC. We say happy belated Father's Day to Senior Advisor to the MMAC. It's Tim Sheehy. Hi, Tim.
Hey, thank you, and right back at you.
Hey, much appreciated here. So a lot of people hitting refresh on their Twitter or X feeds today, Tim.
Refresh.
Wondering if and when Giannis will be traded here to the Heat, the Celtics, maybe a mystery team, who knows. But I did want to look back on Giannis's 13 years, and not to get too premature, but his impact on the city of Milwaukee, Tim, can that even be measured, right? One person's impact. What is Giannis responsible for here in the city of Milwaukee?
Yeah, it's a great question, and as people refresh their Twitter, I worry that somebody's standing with a bucket of white paint right below the Giannis mural downtown. No, but my philosophy on this is you just got to enjoy the ride. It doesn't last forever. And if this trade comes to fruition, we really should enjoy Giannis's, 15 seasons here. I remember back when I was traveling around the world recruiting business for the Milwaukee area, and the most noted global brand was the Bucks. And with that came Giannis. You saw Giannis jerseys all over the world. And so he does have a big impact on Milwaukee, its global brand. And then certainly along the lines of that, he's brought us an NBA championship in a new arena. So we've got a lot to be thankful for, whether this is his last season here or not.
So much to be thankful for. Tim, how much of the Deer District success do you think is tied to winning basketball versus simply having an active entertainment district in that spot now?
Yeah, it's hard to compare the two, but since I was involved in both the legislation on Miller Park and the legislation on the arena, there's certainly an uplift when you've got a team playing well. The Brewers were struggling. That made it harder. But it does give people hope for the future. And, when I think about Giannis and if this trade goes through, I think of, John Gerda's quote. He's the historian for Milwaukee. There's only one place the future comes from, and that's the past. So we've got the 15 seasons with Giannis. If he moves on, he'll build a future here through the trade. That's certainly, again, a benefit of having great players in your community and on your teams.
Tim Sheehy joining us here, senior advisor to the MMAC. Wanted to shift gears here, Tim, to housing prices. We've seen them go up rather dramatically over the past 10 years. Supply, demand, there is a crunch. There's no doubt about that. People trying to get into the market, finding it increasingly difficult. The death of the starter home. This has been bantered about, this idea that getting into housing is so challenging right now. What is leading to this? And nationally, where does Milwaukee compare to other medium market cities across the country?
Yeah, another good question. There, I think, are like four factors that are just coming together, the confluence of four factors. Housing demand during and after the pandemic. You've got all these millennials entering the market. You've got rising mortgage rates. And what that's done is really put a squeeze on the lower price points. And starter homes are defined as kind of the lower third of the market. And if you just unpack this over the last decade, inflation's up 37% over 10 years. Incomes are up 45%. But I found this stunning. Home costs are up 115%. So that's where we're seeing, the starter home market get in a sense priced out of people's reach. The starter home now, I think, on average in 24 was about $300,000. And so that's expensive. I remember when I bought my first home and it was about the price of a car. So certainly home prices have gone up. One of the assets that Milwaukee has is we still have relatively affordable housing prices.
So what policies or market changes could actually make starter homes attainable for people again?
Yeah, it's a really good question. In Milwaukee, that starter home, depending upon where you live in the metro area, runs anywhere from $220,000 to $316,000. So, where there's demand, you think supply will come into the market. And so, building homes, again, you've got the cost of materials and labor, but more homes in the market. The other thing I found really interesting is that the average first-time home buyer is now in their 40s. That's a big change from 10, 15, 20 years ago. So I think a lot has to come together to bring down the cost of that starter home.
On a per capita basis, Tim, Milwaukee is always ranked pretty high in the number of Fortune 500 companies, especially if you consider it's a city proper with fewer than 1 million people. How are we ranking in 2026? And how has the mix, the number of companies, changed and evolved over the years?
Yeah, another good question. Again, if you look at the metro market, one of the things we always touted was that Milwaukee had some of the best numbers when you look at Fortune 500 companies per capita. And we rank somewhere between 3rd and 5th in the country. I think only the Silicon Valley and Minneapolis rank ahead of us. But as we talked about, Giannis, enjoy the ride, nothing's forever. You go back 20 years, you go back 40 years. So let's go back to 1996 and the Fortune 500 companies that were here. 5 of the 6 of those Fortune 500 companies were manufacturers, and they made things here. Companies like Briggs & Stratton, A.O. Smith, Rexnord, Alice Chalmers, Harnisch-Fager, names that are kind of lost to the past. Fast forward to 2026, only 1 of the 7 Fortune 500 companies actually makes anything here, and that's Rockwell. The list now is Northwestern Mutual, Fiserv, Manpower, Kohl's, and Wisconsin Energy Corporation. So while Milwaukee has maintained its relative standing in per capita Fortune 500s, the companies that make up that list have changed dramatically.
How important is it to keep headquarters here in Milwaukee instead of simply having a large regional office?
Yeah, it's very important because, A, they give us a little prestige, but more importantly, they have really good paying jobs and they're bringing income into the region. And so they help us recruit and retain talent. They create a great career base. And they're often, when they're headquartered here, really good corporate citizens because it's their backyard. So I think it's a really important marker for Milwaukee today and into the future.
Always great to connect with Senior Advisor to the MMAC, Tim Shee, here at Wisconsin's Midday News. Tim will do it again next week. Thanks, you.
Tim.
Yep, enjoy.
You do the same. It's 12:26 on WTMJ. News coming up.
Celebrate summer with the 4th of July boat sale at MW Marine. Check out the new 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats powered by Mercury Outboards. All priced to move during this special holiday event. Ask about remaining closeout models with deep discounted pricing at MW Marine. They'll help keep your boat ready for the water with expert service and convenient outdoor storage. Make this your best summer yet at MW Marine, where 4th of July savings are making waves.
Well, finished off a great Father's Day weekend in the basement watching soccer with the girls, with my wife. We had a great time, and we did it in our basement, beautifully furnished and finished by our friends at Matrix Basement Finishing. They became my friends throughout the process. Didn't know much about this company until we did some research. We wanted to make the lower level the heart of our home, more than just walls. We wanted to make it a space where we could enjoy each other's company, host for the holidays, birthday parties, and nights like last night where we're just sort of winding down, but together on the same couch, watching the same match. We had a great time. Thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing, it all happened in the process of about 11 weeks. Quite a transformation. And Matrix only does basements. Experts in the space. You'll have a schedule you can follow. Easy to follow schedule. One point of contact. You know who's coming and when with Matrix Basement Finishing. And they've got an incredible design eye. They proved that to us throughout the process. They came to us every step of the way. Didn't have to go anywhere. No office to visit. Nope. Done at the kitchen table. It's Matrix Basement Finishing. Lock in, no payments till 2028. If you want to attend an open house, look for the yard signs. Matrix Basements all over the place in southeast Wisconsin with an open house near you. See their work and on display what it could mean for your lower level. You can also check out my own social media pages. You'll see some before and after pictures. Quite an amazing transformation. Thanks to Matrix Basement Finishing.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources, help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. For pilots and aviation lovers, there's nothing like making a trip to EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. July 20th through the 26th, get up close to thousands of aircraft, learn about the newest innovation, get hands-on with experts, and witness breathtaking daily air shows, some even at night. There's no better way to immerse yourself into the world of aviation than by checking out the world's greatest aviation celebration. Fuel your passion for flight. EAA.org is the website. July 20th through the 26th, EAA.org.
Many people feeling close to retirement ask themselves, do I have enough?
Am I missing something?
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, we provide clarity during our complimentary, no-pressure consultation. We're independent advisors using big firm tools with a boutique-style approach.
And no crickets. We stay in touch so you're never left wondering.
At Diversified Wealth Strategies, let us show you how to capture the upside, limit the downside, and feel good inside.
Visit dwstrategies.com.
Securities and investment services offered through Mosaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 22nd. Your top story, dropping out of the gubernatorial race.
I'm Jessica Ty. We have a new Miss Wisconsin.
Mix of sun and clouds today, high 68 near the lake. Could touch 70 degrees inland. Mostly clear tonight and a low of 53.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Iran and the U.S. signaling talks are advancing on a permanent peace deal following the first round of negotiations in Switzerland. Vice President J.D. Vance says Iran has agreed to let international nuclear inspectors into the country. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge is in Lucerne.
Those inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency were already very much part of the verification process. So, I mean, it's not an additional win by the Trump administration in terms of these negotiations. And the Vice President was very clear. He conceded that, there is still a long way to go.
President Trump in a social media post says Iran will have to, quote, agree to have major weapons inspections for a long time. Health and Human Services say the 42-day quarantine period has ended for 18 Americans exposed to hantavirus on a cruise ship, adding no sustained transmission of the virus was identified in the U.S. And legendary music producer Clive Davis has died. He's credited for discovering music icons, including Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. Decision Wisconsin. The former head of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation drops out of the Wisconsin gubernatorial race. Missy Hughes suspending her campaign today. In a posting on social media, Hughes said she was proud to run as a first-time candidate and is formally endorsing Lieutenant Sarah Rodriguez for the Democratic nomination. That narrows the field down to 6 candidates on the Democratic side that could challenge Republican gubernatorial frontrunner Congressman Tom Tiffany.
A domestic incident in Delafield leaves one man hurt and another in custody.
West 300 North 1090 McDowell Road for a caller who was sitting with his gun trying to relax, and the dad started fighting. He shot his father 3 times in the abdomen with his gun. The gun is currently next to him on the ground by the front door.
That's audio courtesy of Broadcastify. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Office says a 52-year-old man was shot around 3 p.m. yesterday at a home on McDowell Road. He was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. A 25-year-old man was arrested. Investigators say the incident was isolated and there is no threat to the general public.
A Milwaukee mother charged in the death of her 4-year-old son is expected to plead guilty. Cassandra Taylor faces child neglect and firearm charges. Prosecutors say she allowed her husband, convicted felon Ralph Taylor, access to a gun. Investigators say the child was fatally shot inside the family's home in July. Ralph Taylor, convicted of first-degree intentional homicide, sentenced to life in prison without parole earlier this year. Cassandra Taylor faces up to 35 years in prison.
The next Miss Wisconsin is crowned.
Miss River City Jordan Butler is now Miss Wisconsin. She won preliminary talent, evening gown, and health and fitness award honors at the competition. The Unalaska native studied marketing and performed in competitive dance groups at Viterbo University. Butler has competed in state competitions since she was 13 and won Miss Wisconsin's teen in 2015. She will compete for the Miss America title in September. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
And it was championship weekend for several Milwaukee area schools.
Divine Savior Holy Angels won the Division I girls soccer title, ending Muskego's run of 4 straight championships. Brookfield Central repeated as Division II champions with a 5-0 win over Wauwatosa East, while Prairie School and Racine captured the Division IV title. On the baseball diamond, Pewaukee High School claimed its first state championship in program history, beating Kenosha St. Joseph Catholic in the Division II title game. Cedar Grove, Belgium captured its first ever state championship with a win in Division III. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
What do you think Giannis is thinking right now? We're all thinking about Giannis, but what is going on in his head right now?
Berry smoothie or mango?
Yeah, it might be. Gummies or no gummies? It's 12:34. Sports, traffic, and weather are next.
Meet Jim and Rita. We went on a motorcycle trip. But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident. They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital. Sometime later, Rita made a discovery. She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there? And amazingly, he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's. And I had my checkbook in my hand. But when he arrived there, and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty. Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty. It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty yourself at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brandon Woodruff returns to the mound for the Brewers tonight. First opportunity for Woody in a Major League game since April 30th. The Brewers begin a 3-game series against the Reds.
I truly have gone through everything, checkpoints and everything to put myself in a good position. So now it's just time to go out there and do it.
Brewers begin the day with a record of 46-29. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35 on WTMJ. The NBA draft begins Tuesday night. The Bucks currently own pick number 10 overall, but all the attention on the future of Giannis after no deal was made over the weekend. The Celtics and Heat are finalists, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst.
Miami in recent days has gone out to try to recruit third and fourth teams to improve their offer. They have what they have. They don't have a premium player. They don't have a Jaylen Brown. The most premium asset that they have to trade is the number 13 pick in tomorrow night's draft, which is a good piece, but it's not Jaylen Brown. So they have gone out to try to enhance their offer.
And the United States men's World Cup team advances to the knockout round of 32. The team will face Turkey in pool play Thursday night.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. In Milwaukee County, we do have one incident, 4394 North, about a mile beyond 4194 North. Right shoulder is blocked. The cameras are not turned on at this point. The stream is not available. However, I can see from a still shot that was just taken minutes ago here, it looks to involve some semis. It looks to be some semis off to the side of the road there. Not sure if it's an accident or something is just going on there. But I do want to let you know, I'm not seeing traffic backed up because of it, so that's some good news. Other than that, for the most part, we're just dealing with our typical construction. Certainly around the ballpark right now, it looks like we do have delays, both eastbound and westbound around American Family Field. Due to the construction, not anything out of the ordinary, excuse me. And then we also have 4145, looks like headed southbound is the biggest backup right now as far as the construction zone. You are definitely going to be clear until you hit Good Hope, but after that, it is steady on the brakes until you hit about Burleigh.
Well, more sun than clouds today. High 74 inland, 66 degrees right now, up to 68 here closer to the lake. Mostly clear tonight, a low of 53. Sunny, comfortable on Tuesday, high 73. Looks like rain chances on Wednesday could involve some isolated thunderstorms, high 78. Mostly sunny, a pop-up shower chance on Thursday, high 75. Sun returns in full force on Friday with a high of 76. 66 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:39. Well, spent a lot of time talking about the reflecting pool in the nation's capital, the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool. About $18 million was poured into renovations during the Obama administration. Now another 14 or 15 by the Trump administration. What is going on with this thing? It's green water. A liner is peeling. The renovation project doesn't seem to have taken, and now reports of arrests due to vandalism. We welcome an ABC investigative reporter, Peter Haralambous. I'm not quite sure where to start here, Peter. The loan company that was required to do the renovation, did it take? Did it fail? Is there really vandalism? What are you hearing? What is being talked about?
Yeah, if anything here, we're talking about a comedy of errors. 2 weeks after that $16 million renovation, we're now seeing the peeling liner, this bloom of algae, and the president now saying that they're going to have to drain it to carry out repairs. He's also threatening prison time to anyone who vandalizes it. In fact, over the weekend, we saw 5 arrests including one man, a former Olympic canoeist, who denied the allegation, saying he just touched a loose piece of that peeling coating. He didn't rip, tear, break, destroy, or harm any part of it, but he was nevertheless arrested at the scene. President Trump taking this very seriously as we're approaching July 4th. The reflecting pool, of course, set to play a starring role in those 250 celebrations.
So if the paint was already peeling, does simply pulling a little loose piece off legally qualify as destruction of government property?
Yeah, I struggle to see how this is a case that will ultimately fly unless people decide to just pay a ticket and ultimately be done and over with it. These are misdemeanor charges. But again, it's worth rewinding a few days to what the reflecting pool was looking like on Thursday and Friday before there was a huge presence of National Guardsmen and also National Park Police there, where basically not only was it filled with this bright green algae, but you literally had large portions of the coating itself lifting up from the bottom and reaching the surface. Just touching that seems to be an offense, according to the president and the U.S. attorney in D.C. And again, we're seeing at this point up to 10 combined arrests and citations issued, a very serious matter for the federal government, though, if anything, this is just kind of seen as a bit of a laughingstock on social media where people are criticizing how poorly this renovation has gone.
So, Peter, federal officials stated that multiple people were arrested or cited in connection with damage to the pool. You mentioned the one. Were there others? Is there evidence of others?
So it seems as though there have been additional misdemeanors filed, but we have not heard from any of the accused there. And I'll note one other thing. This is one of the most highly surveilled areas in Washington, D.C., which is, of course, one of the most surveilled cities in the world. And we haven't seen any video evidence of this. President Trump has an affinity for sharing that on Truth Social. For example, when the contractors who were helping the Rose Garden damaged a piece of the actual material used there, he posted it online and called them out publicly. In this case, the president, who has an affinity for calling out his contractors based on his time as a real estate developer, has been standing by these two contractors. They were given no bid contracts to get this work, given a total of $16 million. One of those companies owned by a donor of the president, and they're standing by their work and vowing to repair this in time for July 4th.
Did they say why, though? The paint is already peeling and algae already visible just days after the project was completed. I think that's an answer taxpayers want to know because taxpayers spent more than $14 million on this.
Yeah, again, taxpayer money being used here, and they've said they found an isolated area where the peeling has happened. They have not blamed it on themselves. The contractors, have not blamed it on vandals. That's the president's allegation. But again, this company, having been paid, specifically the pool coating company, having been paid about $14 million, is vowing to repair it in time. Though when you actually look at the chain of events, there's a few things that could have been a problem. For example, one, this was a relatively rushed project. It was done, again, in time for July 4th. It's possible the coating hadn't fully cured yet, or if it wasn't fully attached to the underlying concrete. The president at one point drove the beast and the entire motorcade down the Lincoln Memorial to inspect it. That could theoretically have led to some kind of wear and tear. And then in terms of the algae bloom, repainting this entire thing a darker color could have actually made it more likely to host algae, because with the hot summer sun bearing down upon it, that dark coating captures heat and then could have actually created a more fertile environment for algae. We saw last week workers pouring hydrogen peroxide into the water to kill off one strain of the algae. According to at least one report, we've now seen a different species of algae flourishing in the absence of that other algae that was killed off by the hydrogen peroxide.
I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. This whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sure, you get work done on your house, Peter. You want to have it warrantied, right? Is there any level of warranty here with this contractor? Or are they saying, hey, no, there's corrosive material. It screwed everything up that we did. Like what is happening here?
Yeah, for what it's worth, they claim, this is the pool company that did the company that did the coating on the pool. They've said that the work thus far will be under warranty. So that's perhaps some relief to taxpayers. Though, if you actually go back to their federal contracting records, I'll note that they were paid multiple times over what they were expected to originally be paid. President Trump, of course, said that this was going to be an easy change, $1, maybe $2 million. The first contract was for $6 million. Unexpectedly, a few months later, it doubled, another $6 million. And then in just the last 2 weeks, we've seen another more than $1 million being poured into this project for unspecified reasons. If you go into the system that manages all the federal contracts, all it says is Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool for the description of that cost. So we'll really have to see what we're paying for, because again, taxpayer money being funneled into this project.
Without a doubt. Peter, one more quick thing. You mentioned at the top the three-time U.S. Olympian. Can you tell us more about who this guy is? I think people are interested in that. Who's the three-time U.S. Olympian who was arrested?
Yeah, this is David Hearn. He says he was cycling by the Lincoln Memorial over the weekend when he saw all of this damage. Again, the Lincoln Memorial at this point has become a bit of a tourist attraction more than it usually is. He said he went up to the side of the reflecting pool and simply touched a piece of that peeling coating. That's a thing that a lot of people have been doing on social media. My colleagues have gone over there and filmed footage of themselves touching this coating. He says he didn't actually do anything like rip or tear or destroy any part of it. He then says that he was approached by a National Park police officer who then placed him under arrest. He claimed that he was not read his rights, and then ultimately charged with a misdemeanor of destroying government property. Not necessarily the most serious offense, but again, a crime that he was charged with, even though he says all he was doing was touching the coating itself.
ABC's Peter Haralambous. We appreciate it, Peter. We'll continue to follow.
Peter.
Thank you.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Steinhafels is celebrating America 250 with huge savings for your home. Right now, save up to 30% store-wide. Plus, get a $250 MasterCard when you spend $2,999 or more. Whether you're shopping for a new sofa, bedroom set, dining room, or maybe a mattress, now is the perfect time to save big and bring home the styles you love. Celebrate the Steinhafels America 250 sale. Shop in store. Tell them Jessica Ty sent you. Or shop online at steinhafels.com.
Hey everybody, it's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Access Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves. From the construction crews on the roads I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Access Legal understand what you're going through and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers and will fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout Southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day storm team forecast. Cool and dry for the rest of the evening as your highs on Monday only make it to the upper 60s. Tonight we fall to the mid 50s with a few more clouds. Lots of sunshine and slightly warmer for your Tuesday as our highs climb into the low 70s with southeasterly winds only up to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday will be wet as we see an area of low pressure bring scattered showers and maybe a rumble of thunder, but not expecting severe weather throughout the day on Wednesday. Your highs make it to the upper 70s on Wednesday. Scattered showers still possible on Thursday with our highs still below normal. Weather updates are always available at TMJ4.com. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Lauren Larson.
It is 64 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:51.
Big news today, you guys, regarding the peregrine falcons nesting at the Port Washington power plant. Flown Mercure has officially flown the coop.
Oh, wow. Okay. Out of the nest, right?
The
Free
young
to be a bird?
falcon, yep. Named after our own John Mercure, host of Wisconsin's Afternoon News, just took her first flight. And this is actually really cool to see. You can text WATCH to the WTMJ Talk and Text line to see this. It's really neat to witness. That's WATCH to 855-616-1620. The bird is beautiful as well. Look at it go right there. Flown Mercure launches from the nest box and takes to the air for the very first time. And look, they even put a spotlight on it. So We Energies, they're so smart with this. They put a spotlight on the bird so you can watch it. The whole thing caught on video here. Now she's going to stay close to home for a few more weeks while her parents teach her how to hunt. Got to figure out the ropes, right? But once she starts traveling further away, researchers will still know where she is. And that's because Flown Mercure is carrying a tiny, very, very tiny solar-powered tracking transmitter. We Energies tells us it's the first time they've used this technology, so the first time for them, and I think this is even neater, it's only the second time it's been used on peregrine falcons anywhere in the entire U.S. And that transmitter, I said it's tiny, tiny. It is so small, to give you an idea here, it could even be put onto a butterfly. Think about how light those wings are with the butterfly. So the fact that you could put a transmitter on a butterfly and track it, that's pretty incredible.
It also has to be able to withstand very high speeds because the peregrine falcon is the fastest animal on the planet.
Good point.
This thing moves like 200 miles an hour when it's at top speed, which is just unbelievable to think about. Now, I do wonder if Flown Mercure will be curious to see if his little brother, Niznansky's bird, is doing well. Do they go back? There's a bunch of birds there. They go back and hang out. They celebrate the holidays together, or are they just gone and out in the wild?
Well, there are different power plants, too, because you've got the Oak Creek power plant, the Valley power plant, the Port Washington one, as we're talking about here.
Oh, bring a passing dish.
Yeah, researchers hope that by tracking, they hope that will allow them to learn where young falcons spend that critical first year before eventually settling down and raising families of their own. So I do love the science behind this. A lot of people love just watching these birds in the live cams. In fact, during the commercial break, I went to go take a peek at the live cam, and I'm almost nervous to do this right now. I pulled it up. Oh, yeah, here. It's not as loud. Can you hear this? This is what I was hearing.
That's happening right now?
That is happening right now. It's live.
It's pretty close to lunchtime, I guess.
And during the commercial break, it sounded even more jarring. I thought, oh gosh, what's happening out there? It was a high-pitched squeal. But then at one point, it did stop. But now they're making some noise as well. But congratulations to Flown Mercure on that first flight. As for the human Mercure, he flies into the studio just a little bit before 3 p.m.
A little before 3. Yes, he was already saying how proud he was of his bird for leaving the nest and how Niz's bird is still left at the nest. Just can't fly yet. Just can't figure it out. How do you do this? How do you live? How do you become a bird, a real bird?
Look at this, though. If you had a choice to pick, the Port Washington generating station, that's a beautiful spot. You can see, just the lush greenness of the trees, a bunch of feathers flying, just blowing in the breeze there by the nest, and then the beautiful water. You got people walking along the lake. That's a good spot to be, Fulmerk here.
Coming up on 12:55 here on WTMJ. Lots to get to here on the program yet. We're going to check in with Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan coming up. You've noticed gas prices take a dip, and with good reason, but we're still kind of on tenuous ground here with the situation in Iran. Is this more about the war, seemingly, perhaps, coming to an end? Or does it have everything to do with the Strait? Patrick DeHaan will help analyze where prices are today, where they could be going in the future. That's at 1:15. And, of course, keeping an eye on Giannis watch here as we count down the hours until the NBA draft Tuesday night at 7 o'clock.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home. Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Hey, for 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Greg Matzik here. If your garage door is busted, got a little bit of a headache going on there, call my friends at Geist today. They've got incredible inventory, wonderful people, and great brands like CHI and LiftMaster, doors and openers for every budget, custom designs, you bet, all at Geist. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, check out GeistDoors.com. Stop by their showroom. It's right off Barker Road in Brookfield. See why they are the industry leaders here and the best in the business when it comes to repairing your garage door. Any kind of issue here. The door, the opener, the weather stripping around the perimeter. They've got a fix for you. Don't think twice. Call Geist and visit GeistDoors.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring great tips on how to operate your home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Save big on landscaping projects at Menards. Transform your outdoor living space with easy, no-cut block projects. From fire pits and grill stations to planters and fountains. We offer hundreds of free project plans that are easy to build with no block cutting required. Check out our huge selection of concrete landscaping block at Menards. And view our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Kristen Bry from Point Taken on 620 WTMJ. You know, in radio, people hear your voice first. But when I'm out in the community, meeting listeners or hosting events, I'm told that my smile is my signature. That's why I trust Dr. James Michaels and the team at Economawalk Dental Care with my smile. And yes, I drive all the way from Milwaukee to Economawalk to see Dr. Michaels and his incredible staff. Because when you find a dental team that makes you feel comfortable, listened to, and cared for, that drive is worth it. Dr. Michaels has been practicing in Economawalk for more than 25 years. And his approach is simple. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Whether you're due for a cleaning, thinking about cosmetic options, or just need a dental home where you feel at ease, call Economawalk Dental Care at 262-567-7224. That's 262-567-7224, or visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. Economawalk Dental Care with Dr. James Michaels, the team I trust with my smile.
What's with the ladder and bowling ball?
I'm testing the unsmushable Qualix Ultra Foam in Penny Mustard's Motion Sectional.
But our foam is already proven to stay supportive and comfortable for the life of the sofa.
Are you also dropping a St. Bernard on the sectional?
No, he's here to rescue me when I fall off the ladder.
The forever comfortable Motion Sectional, American made with a solid wood frame and hundreds of fabric and leather options, starting at just $62.95 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better be careful with the crew in Cincinnati. You might get caught red-handed.
Marte's being set. Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time! Game over!
The Brewers take on the Reds tonight at Great American Ballpark. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 5:35. This series is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategy. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 1 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 22nd. Your top story, a barn destroyed in Washington County.
I'm Jessica Ty, seeing the economic impact from Summerfest.
Mix of sun and clouds today, high of 68 degrees closer to the lake, 73 inland, mostly clear tonight, and a low of 53. It's 66 and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 1 o'clock. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, a barn is a total loss after an early morning fire in Washington County. Fire crews responded about 4:45 this morning to Gutman Dairy Farm on Trading Post Trail in the town of Farmington. A passerby told fire crews they saw smoke and flames coming out of the east side of the barn and heard an electrical buzzing sound. No one was injured. None of the dairy cattle were harmed. But in the barn, which included a milking parlor, sustained over $1 million in damage. Fire investigators do not believe the fire is suspicious.
A suspected drunk driving crash in the town of Auburn leaves a woman dead and a man under arrest.
It happened near County Highway V and Mill Pond Road Sunday morning. Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office says a vehicle traveling south did not yield the right-of-way and struck another car traveling north. A 68-year-old woman from Kewaskum was driving the northbound car. She died at the hospital from a head injury. Her passenger, a 16-year-old girl, had minor injuries. Authorities arrested the driver of the other car, a 21-year-old man from Campbellsport, for homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. His 20-year-old passenger had minor injuries. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The man accused of murdering political activist Charlie Kirk back in court. A judge declined a defense request to punish prosecutors for talking publicly about it. And the report said bullet fragments found in the body of Kirk did not match the gun of Tyler Robinson. News Nation's Nancy Liu.
The judge later unsealed the full ATF report, which found that while a bullet fragment match was inconclusive, there was a confirmed match between the suspected murder weapon and a spent casing at the scene. Now, the major hearing in this case, scheduled for July 6th, prosecutors will have to prove that they have enough evidence here to warrant a trial.
As a result of the judge's ruling, prosecutors will be able to seek the death penalty.
In the U.S.-Iran peace negotiations, mediators say both sides have agreed to a new 60-day roadmap towards a final deal. Technical negotiations on nuclear issues and sanctions are now said to be the focus.
Vice President Vance announced in Switzerland earlier Monday that Iran agreed to let international nuclear inspectors into the country. Now President Trump is weighing in, writing on social media that Iran will have to, quote, agree to have major weapons inspections in order to ensure nuclear honesty long into the future. Inspections were included in the nuclear agreement reached with Iran during the Obama administration in 2015. President Trump pulled the U.S. out of that during his first term, and Iran then began limiting inspections. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
And just one weekend into Summerfest, the numbers are already showing a significant economic impact. Milwaukee Business Journal editor-in-chief Timothy Gibbons tells WTMJ some of that started before the festival officially began.
The Garth Brooks concerts that kicked off Summerfest or were held right before Summerfest, depending on how you look at it, they had a sizable impact on their own. About half of the tickets sold for those concerts were from people from out of state.
The second weekend of Summerfest kicks off on Thursday of this week. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow up about 115 points this afternoon at 51,678. NASDAQ taking it on the chin, down about 300 points at 26,219. And the S&P down about 30 at 74.72. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
TikTok, it don't stop. The Giannis talk continues. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 104.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on Gallon Selected Varieties, Prairie Farms White or Chocolate Milk, $3.99. 46 to 48 ounce selected varieties. Blue Bunny Dairy Dessert, 2 for $7. Fresh Athena Melon, $2.99. Fresh 80% lean ground beef, $4.99 a pound.
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun, extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $450 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, well, thanks.
The way you talk about employee-free, hassleless showrooms, free next-day delivery, and prices that are way low. I mean, nobody does it better.
I don't know what to say.
Say that I can get a free box spring.
Okay. Now through Monday, at Hassleus, get a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress.
I have that tattooed on my...
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassleus.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brandon Woodruff takes the mound for the Brewers tonight for the first time since April 30th. Woody working his way back after a couple of minor league rehab starts. Brewers take on the Reds tonight in Cincinnati.
I truly have gone through everything, checkpoints and everything to put myself in a good position. So now it's just time to go out there and do it.
Coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 5:35. The NBA draft begins Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central Time. The Bucks currently own pick number 10 overall. Could they add to their draft pool? All the attention on the future of Giannis after no deal was made over the weekend. Two teams are frontrunners, according to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, the Celtics and Heat.
Miami in recent days has gone out to try to recruit third and fourth teams to improve their offer. They have what they have. They don't have a premium player. They don't have a Jaylen Brown. The most premium asset that they have to trade is the number 13 pick in tomorrow night's draft, which is a good piece, but it's not Jaylen Brown. So they have gone out to try to enhance their offer.
And the United States Men's World Cup team advances to the knockout round of 32. The team will face Turkey in pool play Thursday night.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. No crashes to report right now. A few disabled vehicles dotting the system, but not causing problems. We do have delays in our construction zones around American Family Field, both eastbound and westbound on 94 right now. Also 4145 in the Mayfair and Butler areas. Also seeing delays due to the construction as usual. The one other thing I want to point out right now, we do have the two left lanes on Highway 100 southbound closed at Layton Avenue. That's due to some repairs they're making, doing some maintenance work out there. I believe they were doing that last week as well, but that continues today. Two left lanes on Highway 100 southbound closed at Layton Avenue due to repairs.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
A little mix of sun and clouds today, a high of 68 degrees near the lake. It's over 70 inland right now. In fact, 73 out in Waukesha County. Sunny and comfy tomorrow, a high of 73. Increasing rain chances on Wednesday. Some isolated thunderstorms are possible with a high of 78. Sunny, pop-up shower chance on Thursday, high 75. Friday looks great, mostly sunny with a high of 76. It's 66 degrees in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome back in. It's hour number 2 of Wisconsin's Midday News, and all we're doing is hitting refresh. Well, I don't know about you. I'm hitting refresh. You know what's going on here now, right? All the talking heads are trying to figure out what's happening to Giannis. We're trying to do a radio show. This ain't easy.
I just hit refresh. I also just took a sip of my tea, and I realized I've got the Bucks Yeti today.
There you go.
That was not by design. I think I'm going to have to bring it tomorrow, though, for sure. So I'm going to have to wash this baby tonight and make sure it's clean and fresh for tomorrow.
Approaching 1:10 here on WTMJ, Monday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, will the Milwaukee Bucks trade superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo? That is the big question today. We're now less than 30 hours away from the start of the NBA draft. That is the self-imposed deadline for the Milwaukee Bucks. Doesn't mean anything has to happen by tomorrow. But last month, Milwaukee Bucks co-owner Jimmy Haslam said he wanted the Giannis saga settled before the draft. ESPN's Brian Windhorst breaks down what's on the table right now.
I was really skeptical that the Boston Celtics were going to go all in on this. And from what I understand, they have. The Celtics and the Heat are the two teams aggressively going after Giannis. I would say they are the finalists. And if Giannis is going to be traded in the next 24 hours, which I think is a good chance of happening, I think it's either going to be to Boston or Miami. The Boston thing is the one. They were very cautious about putting Jaylen Brown in this an official firm offer. I believe they have. Jaylen Brown is on the table, and Jaylen Brown could get traded for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
The Milwaukee Bucks have the 10th pick tomorrow night in the first round of the NBA draft. Both ESPN and ABC are broadcasting the draft. I've also seen billboards up around the city noting watch parties in town.
Yeah.
I checked it out because, as you're going by the billboard, you're looking like, okay, and then it switches. So there are 3 official Bucks draft watch parties tomorrow night. One downtown at Brothers Bar and Grill, another out in Pewaukee at Stenny's Lake Country, and then the third at New Berlin Ale House.
It's the thing you kind of forget, right? Through all the Giannis speculation, where is he going to go? The Bucks have the 10th pick.
Yes.
I mean, there is a real chance for a meaningful player to be a part of this team after the draft tomorrow night. Now, of course, with the Giannis trade, you might end up with a 13th pick or the 27th pick, too. Maybe you package them and move to the top 5. The Bucks could have some flexibility if Giannis is traded, but even if not, the 10th pick that's no joke, right? And in what's considered to be a deep draft, the Bucks have a chance to add a real difference maker here.
I can't wait to see what the mood will be tomorrow night at these watch parties.
Oh, my gosh. Honestly, it's been hard to concentrate today because I just keep waiting for the news. I keep trying to find it, texting some people who are kind of in the know on what they think is happening and how this has been narrowed down to the teams who are interested. And yes, I found out through my own source reporting that Giannis is interested in playing for the Heat, and he's also interested in playing for the Celtics, saying he would sign contract extensions with both teams. Now, there was a belief. I said, what about the West? What about Western Conference teams? Any idea that a mystery team could pop in here out of nowhere? And he said, not likely. He said he thought Minnesota might be in play and that Giannis would agree to play there. But he has, to this point, said that Giannis has not agreed to play for any team in the Western Conference, that it's really all about these Eastern Conference powers, Boston and Miami. I said, what about Orlando? He said Orlando's intriguing. I haven't heard if Giannis wants to play there, but certainly he knows a lot of the people who are in Orlando making decisions.
This is such an emotional ride for fans. Over the weekend, I kind of felt like, no, you know what? I don't think anything's going to happen. I think he's going to stay here. And I hadn't felt like that in a while. Felt like that over the weekend. Then today came around and I thought, oh gosh, where's he going?
Yeah.
An emotional ride.
Number 3, weeks before the anniversary of the deadly Central Texas flooding, investigators have concluded their probe into the disaster at a summer camp. Maybe the final report on Camp Mystic, but as ABC's Jim Ryan outlines, it's unlikely to be the last word.
A scathing 115-page document details massive failures in policy and procedure at the century-old summer camp.
Camp Mystic had the means to appropriately protect its campers from severe weather.
But when severe weather did come last July 4th, investigator Michael Massengale says
there were no evacuation procedures, posted emergency plans.
Campers were told to shelter in place as floodwaters rose up. 25 of them would die, along with 2 counselors and Dick Eastland, the co-owner of Camp Mystic. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
So the report outlines 4 major failures from Camp Mystic. One of them is the lack of state-compliant emergency plans. There was no written emergency evacuation plan to meet Texas state requirements. Failure to prepare for the storm, despite the National Weather Service saying severe weather warnings were going to be in that area and launching those warnings. Most camp leaders went to sleep, didn't have their cell phones near them, or at least audible. They were unaware of the extreme weather risk. A missed opportunity to evacuate, despite a flash flood warning in that area issued at 1:14 a.m. And then chaotic incident management and reunification. In other words, when things like this happen, what is your communication plan? What is your reunification plan? How do you notify family? Camp Mystic fell short in those areas as well.
So sad. Number 3, many teenagers who want to work this summer have come up empty in their job search. One report predicts this summer could mark the lowest level for teen employment since 1948. That's when the government started tracking this data. Fewer employers are hiring 16 to 19-year-olds for a variety of reasons. Many starter jobs have been taken over by technology, so that's a big one. But also, there's more competition these days from older, more experienced workers. Your summer job, Greg, it was at was it Sunglass Hut or the hat shop? I always forget which one it was.
It was Sunglass Hut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, proud of that one.
The hat shop was like right over there, wasn't it?
It wasn't far away. Yeah, I had some friends over there.
I guess I was down on the other side. Who knew? We probably, on our breaks, I might have actually seen you in the food court and not known, since I worked at Boston Store in the junior section.
Well, I started working at the Sunglass Hut before there was a food court at Brookfield Square.
Oh, wow.
And then the food court got added, and Lids was put down in that corner.
Yes.
I think I only worked...
That's what I always think of, Lids.
And then the Sunglass Hut moved to the area toward the food court instead of the area near Merle Norman, and there was like a pizza place and a Wendy's. But I only worked, I think, one Christmas break in that new location.
I remember the food court well. And the pizza place where the guy you were ordering from always looked at the lady's toes and commented.
Oh, yeah. That's nice and creepy.
Weird memory to have years later.
Yes, it is. 1:16 on WTMJ. So gas prices are ticking down. Is this a momentary reprieve? What could send them back up or even down? Patrick DeHaan of Gas Buddy joins us after this.
Your home is about as personal as it gets, right?
We want to build a relationship with homeowners, not only educating them, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us.
Yeah, the interview goes both ways. Getting to know people while also serving them. It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
Besides that, it's just the right thing to do. See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
Horicon Bank has been in business since 1896. That is amazing. Greg Matzik here. Part of the story of Horicon Bank is what they did for the community of Horicon back in the 1800s when people were launching businesses, making Wisconsin roots, and enjoying their time in the Midwest. Wisconsin was barely 50 years old, not even 50 years old, as a matter of fact. Well, Horicon Bank is still opening its doors in different communities, including Horicon, but also New Berlin and Wauwatosa, Menominee Falls, Grafton, West Bend, expanding, but they've not lost their community-minded approach. And they're still doing right by businesses looking to launch and meet their cash flow needs. With financing requests that can be approved in days, not weeks, your banker at Horicon Bank understands you and understands your business with top-notch products and service that go hand in hand. Check them out, horiconbank.com. Together doing good for 130 years, and member FDIC.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. It all ends July 4th. Staples, that was easy.
A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to Outdoor Living Unlimited's Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
No matter what your summer sounds like, Summerfest is the place to be.
Congratulations!
And WTMJ is right in the middle of it. Come say hi as we broadcast live from the Summerfest grounds all festival long. From the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studio, we're bringing Milwaukee's biggest summer tradition straight to you. Your soundtrack to summer, heard here on WTMJ.
Overall, pretty nice day today. Highs topping out about 75 degrees inland. Little cooler near the lake. Overnight low 53. Tomorrow's high 75 degrees. Looks pleasant. Chance of rain, maybe some thunderstorms on Wednesday with a high of 78. It's 67 degrees and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 119. So you've probably noticed gas prices dropping and rather dramatically over the last 5 weeks. In total here, we're down to about $3.75 a gallon in the state of Wisconsin. It is summer driving season. There's different blends and whatnot in Wisconsin. So typically gas prices are a little inflated in the state of Wisconsin. It's just part of our law structure here. So nothing new there. But what we've seen is a decline as the war in Iran has hit a ceasefire. Now you got a negotiating window of up to 60 days to try and figure out what's going on with their nuclear program. Maybe you just end this war with this memorandum of understanding. And then the Strait of Hormuz is also part of the equation. Gas prices have dropped, but for how long? It's welcome in Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan. Patrick, always appreciate connecting. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we had you on about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think, and gas prices were in that $4.50 range and going up with a lot of uncertainty. Why have they been reduced by about 75 cents to $1 here in the state of Wisconsin?
Well, a lot of what we saw late April, early May had to do with refining issues that pushed prices up much more dramatically than just the price of oil going up. Those refining issues have improved and oil prices have gone down, giving us now kind of a double whammy of falling prices. And that's why gas prices in Milwaukee down 77 cents have fallen quite a bit more than the national average in the last month, because both of those issues have now really been resolved, or at least the refining issues have been resolved. Oil has gone down, and that's allowed prices not only just through Wisconsin, but really the Great Lakes states, including Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan, have also seen tremendous decreases for the same reason prices went up. They are now coming back down. And for now, at least, over the weekend, after some new escalations occurred between the U.S. and Iran, Iran and the U.S. did agree to another framework to reestablish how they move forward. And the Treasury Department, the U.S. Treasury, that is, surprisingly allowing Iran to sell oil now on the global market for 60 days. And that, adding more oil to the market potentially now, is further pushing oil lower today, with a barrel of West Texas Intermediate at its lowest level since March, falling closer to $74 a barrel. That could allow gas prices to continue inching lower here ahead of July 4.
Patrick, some analysts say markets may be assuming a best-case scenario too soon. Is there a risk here that drivers are enjoying a temporary break before another jump?
Well, I mean, there's always that possibility. The coast is anything but clear, and, if there are returns to longer escalations than what we saw over the weekend, or if the strait continues to be closed, the issue is not in the backdrop of all of what's happened. Even though with oil prices having fallen significantly, global oil inventories have continued to decline, and those numbers won't lie. As those global inventories, if they do keep declining in the weeks ahead, there's going to be more and more pressure building in the backdrop that the market isn't going to be able to ignore. So absolutely. I mean, the longer this goes on, the more global inventories continue to fall, the more oil prices will have to take notice. For now, though, oil prices really have fallen on the hope that the strait reopening would allow those global inventories to begin recovering.
How nimble and reactive are gas stations, in your opinion, Patrick? In other words, if you hear that, the strait's going to be locked up again, how long before you notice a change at the pump? And conversely, go in the other direction. If you hear that the strait is fully open, but maybe being monitored to some degree, how quickly before they really drop, maybe to below that $3 a gallon mark?
Well, depending on when the price of oil goes down, it may take 48 hours for stations to be paying either more or less. And then they generally will take another 48 to 72 hours to begin passing along either the increase or the decrease. And that trend will continue. The upward or downward trend continues until stations have fully passed along the increase or the decrease. There were times in March where prices kept going up for 3 weeks because stations every day were paying more. Now that's flipped around. Stations are paying less every day. So they continuously are passing along lower prices, and that's why Milwaukee is down 73 cents a gallon. So generally what happens in the oil market today will start filtering down to what you're paying at the pump in the next 24 to 48 hours, and it could go for weeks that prices will trend either up or down, depending on what the news looks like.
I was just looking at the calendar here, thinking that, 4th of July is coming up quickly, and indeed it is, not this weekend, but next weekend. For families who are either planning right now or already have trips planned, a lot of people drive by car for the 4th of July. What's your best advice as far as filling up, maybe when to fill up and where to fill up?
Well, where? The Gas Buddy app is a great place to tell you where, as gas prices do vary significantly across the board. If you're heading into Illinois, well, first of all, try to avoid it, or just try to get to Indiana on fumes. But yeah, I mean, if you're heading out of the state, the Gas Buddy app is probably your best resource to make sure you're finding the lowest price. And even if you're not finding the lowest price, you can generally find 20 to 40 cent a gallon savings. How you drive is a big impact as well. In terms of timing, watch the price of oil. Like I said, predicting is really difficult right now. For now, the price of oil is down just below the $75 a barrel mark. If for some reason you see the price of oil suddenly surging, it's probably better to fill up sooner rather than later. But for now, my advice would be with oil down today, notably, you shouldn't necessarily be in a rush to fill your tank up.
Hey, Patrick, has diesel come down commensurate with what we've seen for unleaded?
It really has. That's the good news worth mentioning as well, that, diesel prices across Wisconsin and the U.S., by the way, are down significantly. The average now nationally back below the $4 mark. In Wisconsin, after peaking at $5.88 a gallon about 5 weeks ago, the statewide average in Wisconsin for diesel is now down to $4.93. So almost $1 a gallon drop in diesel in the last 5 weeks, and we should see diesel prices potentially dropping closer to the mid-$4 mark before they have finally caught up, and that's, of course, subject to any changes that develop. So gasoline and diesel have fallen, probably will continue to fall, but how long they'll fall, well, watch the price of oil for any sudden hiccups between the U.S. and Iran.
Patrick, real quickly here, you are our gas buddy expert, and I'm just curious, when the prices get real high, are you one of those guys who will go and clip the coupon at, say, Metro Market or the grocery store to get quadruple the gas points? Because I love those gas points.
The gas points, oftentimes I have been shopping more and more, with things like Amazon Grocery and other delivery services that actually have far lower prices than my store. So I don't clip those coupons. I just generally always will check the Gas Buddy app. And by the way, I'm going to head to Michigan over the weekend from Chicago. So I will be on fumes getting into Northwest Indiana, hoping that the Gas Buddy app finds me one of those $2.99 stations, because Indiana right now, they have waived both their sales and excise taxes until about July 7th.
Just don't run out of fumes, because I've made that drive, being an Indiana University grad, I made that drive many times from Milwaukee down to Indiana. And at some point, if you're on fumes, it's just cornfields.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take that gas can with me. That way I can fill it up with sub $3 gas.
Well, if you find it, I know you'll be tweeting about it. Patrick DeHaan joining us here from Gas Buddy. We always appreciate it, Patrick. Thanks, you.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
You bet. It's 1:26 here on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. Hey, if you've been thinking about a new vehicle, now's the time to take a serious look at Griffin Ford's Ford American Value for American Values Employee Pricing event. This is great. For a limited time, you pay what employees pay. That's right, employee pricing on a huge selection of new Ford vehicles. Right now, they have 50-plus all-wheel drive Ford Explorers in stock, starting at $38,978. How about the 2026 Ford Bronco Sport all-wheel drive? More than 20 in stock, starting at $28,995. And Escape owners get an additional $1,000 off. But what really sets Griffin Ford apart is inventory. Griffin Ford is one of the largest selections of new Ford vehicles anywhere in Wisconsin. That means you're not spending hours searching dealer to dealer or settling for something close to what you wanted. You can choose the color, trim, level, and features that fit your style. It's Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I buy my cars at Griffin. You can also do it online at griffinford.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
It's that time of year again. The Fox World Travel exclusive July sale with Apple Vacations, and brand new for this year, Royal Caribbean, is coming soon. July is the best time of the year for unbeatable deals you won't get anywhere else. Get the hottest cruise deals or plan ahead for 2027 and pair all-inclusive resorts with nonstop flights. Let Fox World Travel book your vacation and secure your reservation with just a deposit. Visit foxworldtravel.com/July and get on the exclusive waitlist today.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Monday, June 22nd. Your top story: a person dies after falling out of a building.
I'm Jessica Ty. The governor's race just got smaller.
Mix of sun and clouds today, 75 inland, 68 near the lake.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Peace negotiations between the U.S. and Iran remain fragile, but both sides say progress was made on the first round of talks. Vice President J.D. Vance, returning from Switzerland, says Iran has agreed to let international nuclear inspections to resume. But when asked if the U.S. can trust Iran, Vance remained cautious.
Whether good faith or bad faith, you can't trust anybody's words. You have to trust what they actually do. Letting in the inspectors is a big deal, but again, we're going to see what they actually let the inspectors do once they're in the country.
The U.S. government also issuing a 60-day waiver for sanctions on Iranian oil. Volatile storms targeting the Midwest and parts of the South again today. It follows a weekend of deadly tornado outbreaks across Kansas, Illinois, and Indiana. Former Federal Reserve Chair Alan Greenspan has died. The longtime chair was appointed by President Ronald Reagan. His wife, NBC's Andrea Mitchell, says he died from complications of Parkinson's. Alan Greenspan was 100 years old. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31. Developing story: police investigating after a person dies from falling from a building in downtown Milwaukee. Witnesses saw the person's body was taken away from in front of an office building near Wells and Martin Luther King Drive. There appears to be a fourth-floor window broken above that scene. Milwaukee County Medical Examiner confirms to WTMJ they were called to the scene. More details as they become available throughout the day.
It is court day for a Wisconsin teenager charged in a Menendez brothers-inspired murder.
Reed Galinsky was supposed to begin trial today for one charge of first-degree intentional homicide. Now he has a hearing today instead to review his plea of not guilty by reason of insanity or mental defect. Galinsky was 15 years old when his mother, Suzanne Galinsky, was found beaten and stabbed to death in their Franksville home in March 2025. Prosecutors say he was inspired by the Menendez brothers documentary on Netflix and made plans to kill both of his parents. His father was not harmed. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
If convicted, Galinsky faces a mandatory life sentence.
Decision Wisconsin, the former head of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, drops out of the Wisconsin gubernatorial race.
Hughes officially suspended her campaign Monday afternoon, just over a week removed from polling at 2% in a straw poll conducted during the state Democratic convention.
I have run 8 marathons, and I will tell you the finish line is in sight.
On social media, Hughes said she was proud to run as a first-time candidate and is formally endorsing Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez for the Democratic nomination. Hughes' decision narrows down the field to 6 candidates on the Democratic side that could challenge Republican gubernatorial frontrunner Congressman Tom Tiffany in November. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
COVID-era state bridge funding for child care centers is set to end on June 30th. That's coming up real quickly here. So what exactly does this mean for parents? Here's the Associate Director of Ebenezer Child Care Centers right here in Milwaukee.
What we're having to do is adjust our tuition, which will now impact the families, and we're going to see tuition spikes across many centers.
Without extra state funding, many child care centers will either have to raise their rates between 10 to 20% or close.
Former Brewers left fielder, I should say, Ryan Braun is coming back to the ballpark. He will not be alone.
More than 30 former Brewers are returning for the Alumni Legends game next month, bringing together fan favorites from the past quarter century.
I've already gotten some texts from some guys, especially hitters, saying, like, are the pitchers actually throwing off speed pitches? Is this a real game? And to the best of my knowledge, yes.
Former Brewers left fielder Ryan Braun tells WTMJ.
I expect it to be competitive. There'll definitely be some banter and some fun trash talk, but my expectation is guys will definitely compete when we're out there.
The game is set for July 24th at American Family Field following the Brewers game against the Rockies. Nasir Spencer, WTMJ News.
We're calling up Giannis right now. We're just going to ask him, what's going on, Giannis?
You think he'll pick up? Or something?
Yeah, he'll pick up. I want to know.
Worth the shot.
I want to know what he knows right now. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, East 134.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Many of us struggle to lose weight. I use Milwaukee Weight Loss to lose the weight I've wanted to lose for a long time. And the great thing is I've kept it off now for over a year. Lost 45 pounds last year, another almost 10 pounds this year with a goal of losing maybe 10 more. For a limited time, get $200 off of their summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. I can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. Let's lose weight together. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Wet basements and foundation problems? For over 20 years, Accurate has been the Fix-It Show's trusted experts in foundation repair and waterproofing. Whether it's cracked walls, drain tile issues, or water in your basement, they've got you covered. Don't wait until the problem gets worse. Call Accurate Basement Repair today at 414-744-6900 or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com. They're not just good, they're accurate.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, well, thanks.
The way you talk about employee-free, hassless showrooms, free next-day delivery, and prices that are way low. I mean, nobody does it better.
I don't know what to say.
Say that I can get a free box spring.
Okay. Now through Monday, at Hassleus, get a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress.
I have that tattooed on my...
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassleus.com.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You know, it's been more than 3 years since we got our garage door from J.D. Griffiths, and it still looks brand new. I'm telling you, it's quiet, it's smooth, and honestly, I didn't realize how much of a difference a quality door would make until we upgraded. J.D. Griffiths, they've been doing it for decades. They're local, trusted, and they handle everything. Try the website, jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ. Schedule your free consultation from J.D. Griffiths.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Brandon Woodruff to the mound tonight for the Brewers. Hasn't pitched in a game since April 30th. Milwaukee begins a 3-game series against the Reds in Cincinnati.
I truly have gone through everything, checkpoints and everything to put myself in a good position, so now it's just time to go out there and do it.
Milwaukee begins the day with a record of 46-29. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35. NBA draft begins Tuesday night. The Bucks currently on the 10th overall selection. All the attention on the future of Giannis after no deal was made over the weekend. ESPN's Brian Windhorst believes the Celtics and Heat are finalists.
Miami in recent days has gone out to try to recruit third and fourth teams to improve their offer. They have what they have. They don't have a premium player. They don't have a Jaylen Brown. The most premium asset that they have to trade is the number 13 pick in tomorrow night's draft, which is a good piece, but it's not Jaylen Brown. So they have gone out to try to enhance their offer.
And the United States Men's World Cup team advances to the knockout round of 32. The team will face Turkey in pool play Thursday night.
No new crashes to let you know about as we take a peek at the WTMJ traffic report here. We do have our typical delays in our construction zone, especially around American Family Field. That's both eastbound and westbound today. It is slow going. 4145, if you are headed north, you are tapping the brakes just a little bit in the Mayfair area. 4145 south. It looks like you're clear all the way until Good Hope Road, but then you start to hit the brakes, and it looks like it clears up today a little bit after Capitol.
Oh, nice day. A little on the cool side here. Haven't reached 70 degrees, I don't believe, officially in Milwaukee. It's a little warmer out in the suburbs, 74 at the Matzik residence. I just checked in on our Nest cam. And potential for rain here midweek. Let's welcome in TMJ4 meteorologist Lauren Larson after overall pretty good weather weekend, Lauren.
Yeah, pretty nice. You know, it's been nice to see some cooler temperatures. It's been comfortable. I know a lot of people are excited that they haven't had to put that AC on high just yet. But, you know, it's summer. It is officially astronomical summer. I see the argument that people would love some warmer temperatures as well. If you're a fan of the mild weather, this weekend was nice, and this week is still going to be nice.
You have a lot of people who their herbs are going, the peppers are going, the tomatoes are starting to pop a little bit. As far as the wind, are we expecting any high winds that maybe might... We've had a lot of them, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that for everybody's crops out there, that in the new flowers, too, that we don't see that this week. And what about the rain? What can people expect as far as, do we have to water extra or not?
Yeah, great questions. Well, as of right now, I'm not seeing any days that are all that windy. Today is pretty breezy along the lakeshore. Current winds about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Of course, the northeasterly direction does make it feel a little bit cooler, but there's no days, as I'm seeing right now, that those gusts are up around 40 or 50 miles per hour. As far as the rain is concerned, I would say it starts early Wednesday morning, and everyone will see rain on Wednesday, whether that is kind of on and off, whether we're right in the line of that area of rain. But all of Wisconsin, honestly, will see rain on Wednesday. Right now, the computer models are estimating that more so across northeast Wisconsin. So some of our northern counties will see a little bit more. But computer models right now putting out over an inch of rain between Wednesday and Thursday across Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, and Ozaukee County. I would say in Milwaukee, comfortably quarter of an inch to a half an inch of rain here on Wednesday into Thursday.
So, all right, so you're thinking maybe it could be more of an afternoon, evening kind of thing, Lauren, by that measure, or is it maybe a little more of an all-day thing?
I think more of an all-day thing. It just kind of depends how that area of low pressure lines up, and it will rotate around kind of the Great Lakes region, so maybe we start to see that earlier in the day on Wednesday. I think the chance for rain is there all day Wednesday, though.
Okay. Well, and really, Summerfest, I mean, week one is done, the first weekend, and that's in the books. They really looked out weather-wise. I think it was Friday night I was out there and I was looking and the clouds looked ominous, and you guys had told us that there was a possibility for some rain, and I thought, oh man, I think the rain is coming. And it might have just sprinkled the tiniest bit, but I mean, nobody was running to take cover under the beer tents or anything like that. And I do think that's always a part of Summerfest. You don't want it to rain, but it is kind of part of the fun to have to go and take cover. But they really lucked out, and it looks like next weekend could be the same.
Absolutely. We heard from so many people, too, that were out there a couple nights last week. They were watching those dark clouds. But, yeah, nobody told us it was a complete washout. We were watching on the tower cameras. Nobody, was running for cover. And like you said, this next week also looks to be dry and comfortable for Thursday night, Friday night, and into Saturday. I was there. I was at Summerfest last year when it was maybe 94 degrees one of the days. That might be an exaggeration, but I feel like part of Summerfest is that maybe there's a rainy day. Part of it is that there's a super hot and humid day. We may have to hold out for 4th of July weekend for that.
Well, that's good to know. If it's 94 at Summerfest, it's hot everywhere, right? I mean, that natural cooling of Lake Michigan, if you're not feeling it, it's like, whoo, everybody's going to be suffering a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it is 1:43 in WTMJ. Good stuff, Lauren. Looks like a pretty nice start to the week, and we'll keep an eye on Wednesday for sure.
Bye.
Take it easy. Lauren Larson joining us. It doesn't look like anything severe on Wednesday as I'm looking ahead here. Maybe some rumbles of thunder, but nothing in line of severe weather, at least nothing yet anyway. We'll see if things change. It is the summer. Things can spike and pop out of nowhere, but it looks like Wednesday is kind of the soggy one here in the forecast.
You know where it's always sunny? On the new Summer Shandy Leinie Kugel's cans. They have those new color-changing cans. Have you seen them?
I've not seen that. No. Really?
It's kind of cool. I actually, it was funny. My husband got a Summer Shandy. It's like the only time he gets one over the weekend. And I realized, I was like, wait, did you look at your can? Was it color-changing? He said, no, it looked the same. Looked the same to me. Then the next day when he got one, I said, no, we have to look at this. Pull it out of the koozie, because we brought our own koozies, because it always just keeps the beer colder, right? And I have a Summerfest one from back in the day that I just love. It's probably like 15 years old. It's fun to break out. Fluorescent yellow with a big red smiley face. So sure enough, he pulled it down, and I was like, okay, let's take note of this and let's look at it later. And it did. It was either the sunrise, the sunset, however it works on the can. It changes colors.
Cold activated or heat activated? I would like to think cold activated.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I mean, it changes. So if it's warm and you put it in the ice, then it'll change. As you take it out of the ice and then it warms up, it changes again.
Well, I know those mountains on the Coors Light can turn blue. It's a cold activated can. I love that. I think it's great. It's 1:45.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Well, shout out and hat tip to Katie and Dan, the wife and husband team at Inspired Closets Milwaukee, for a complete transformation and makeover of our master closet. It was a mess. It was a complete mess. Builder-grade racking that was kind of falling apart, had a big old clunky dresser in there. Shoes were on display, and laundry bins were on display. Really didn't like any of it. And we finally decided it was time for a change. And my goodness, what a transformation. This has become one of the better rooms in our home, leaving that door open now in the master closet after the work done by Inspired Closets Milwaukee. They designed a solution after taking some measurements and really understanding what our space was and also listening to us on what was important. Did we want more drawers? Did we want more drawers? Did we want more open shelving? What made sense? How do we maximize every bit of space in that master closet? They took that advice and thought process and applied their own knowledge to it, and bam, we had a beautiful transformation of our master closet. So let Inspired Closets do for you what they did for us. Think about that space that's a little too cluttered. You know what I'm talking about. Every time you try and clean it, you end up just sort of moving some stuff around, and it never really stays clean. You know exactly what I'm talking about here. That could be in your garage, your pantry, your laundry room, a linen closet, front hall closet, closet in the bathroom, you name it. If it requires an organizational touch, talk to Katie and Dan at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Mark Reinhardt is IT manager at ACS Group. Mark, your company has had business technology from James Imaging Systems for years. Right out of the blocks, would you recommend James to others?
Yes, I've had nothing but a great experience with James Imaging Systems, and I would definitely want to share that with others.
A great experience in what way?
I think it's just the personal touch. They actually listen to our needs, walking our business, and finding out what solutions we need to do our job better.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation, adding up to more bang for your business technology dollar.
Yeah, we are absolutely getting a return on investment on the dollars we're spending with James Imaging Systems.
Mark, safe to say ACS Group is happy?
Very happy with James Imaging Systems. People are smiling.
Put a smile on your face with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala. Nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Governor Tony Evers hitting the road again today for his annual Pothole Patrol Tour. He does this every year. He kicks things off this afternoon up in Onalaska. The governor says Wisconsin has repaired more than 9,600 miles of roads and 2,400 bridges since taking office in 2019. And Evers is using the tour to highlight transportation funding included in the latest state budget, including more money for local road repairs, highway projects, and agriculture roads. The statewide patrol tour really has become an annual tradition for him. I mean, he's
and we're going to keep fixing the darn roads.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I was just about to say, he wants to fix the damn roads.
Yeah.
But he said darn. Okay.
In that one, I think there's multiple versions.
I think so, too.
I think there is.
Some, a little more passionate than others if he's got more energy that day. But he does say fixing roads and bridges remains one of his top priorities. And we all know when you're rolling the car over one, it's like, whoosh. I mean, I actually think in Milwaukee, I feel like it's gotten better over the last month or so. There was a patch there. Well, there wasn't a patch, but there was a patch of time when it was really rough. I feel like back in maybe May or even before that, there were just so many. And you couldn't dodge them because you're dodging them and then you're going in the other lane of traffic. It just wasn't good.
This is one of those bipartisan things. It's kind of like sleep. Everybody wants to sleep. Everybody wants to drive on a road without potholes.
Exactly.
Right? You fix them, find a way to fix them. I thought the Brewers' approach to this was really interesting.
I love their approach.
They throw the Brewers logo on those potholes kind of surrounding the area of American Family Field. It's sort of applying, that's brand marketing and I guess road billboarding, if you want to call it that. That's a unique approach I've not seen done in other cities.
Have you seen one in real life? Because I've seen the pictures, but I haven't come across one. And I remember when they were first doing that, I was kind of looking down at the road. Is that a Brewers one? Nope.
Okay, so what is the etiquette now, right? I mean, you're going 40 miles an hour and you always see the pothole too late, it feels like, right? And then you got other traffic. You get maybe somebody in the lane next to you. You don't want to drive over this thing. You risk hopping the curb if you go to the right. You risk maybe impeding the driving of the person on your left. Like you just kind of grin and bear it and go over it. You're likely to do a little damage to your car potentially if you hit it the wrong way, or maybe your tire has an issue. Like this is why you need to fix these things. They are unsafe. You don't want to drive over it. If you avoid it, you risk kind of causing a bigger issue. It's just, you have to do it. And the way our weather system is, it's
inevitable.
It's going to happen.
Have you ever reported one?
I've not.
Because you can go on and you can report it to the city. And really, you should do that. I feel like most of the time, though, it's like, okay, by the time you get home, you do the thing, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
It's frustrating when you drive over it, but I know some people do. And it is important because you need somebody to report the potholes because the city can't go around checking all the roads every single day looking for potholes. So we do need people to report them.
I have not heard this before. I'm going to go ahead and play it and trust that it is what it says it is. It says, Fixing Roads Montage Evers. This is saved in one of our music folders and one of our audio folders. It is 11 seconds long. I've never heard this. We are listening for it for the first time together on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Fixing our roads, gotten to work, fixing the darn roads, and we're going to keep fixing the darn roads. You're darn right. We've been fixing the damn roads.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle. This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Picture this: a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring great tips on how to operate your home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma.
A crisis was avoided. Federal Aviation Administration is investigating a close call. 2 planes nearly collided at Boston Logan International Airport.
Saturday, a Delta Airlines flight executed a go-around or an aborted landing to avoid an American Airlines plane that was departing from another runway. The jets were 300 feet apart. A Delta plane with more than 130 passengers and crew landed safely.
My wonder is, did the passengers know about this? Did they have any idea how close things were? I don't imagine you make any announcement. You're just trying to avoid catastrophe at that point. This appears to be a hiccup with air traffic control and how their communication went about these 2 passenger planes. But I do wonder if you're on board, if you notice something like that. When you're that close.
The passengers might not have realized how close it was, but they certainly would have realized the go-around. Sure. I mean, all of a sudden you're getting ready to land, and then whoop, nope, we're not landing. A lot of times you run into go-arounds just due to the weather. Sometimes you got winds or something's happening. It's like, okay, nope, we're going to try that again. It does happen. But air traffic controllers, that's a critical job, such an important one. We know the country is trying to get more air traffic controllers. Sean Duffy, U.S. Transportation Secretary, just said recently, being an air traffic controller is one of the best, most rewarding jobs in America. He says the next generation at the academy is the best in the world, and we need them to be.
Well, how safe is it, though? Right? I mean, we talked about this with TSA. It's not safe in terms of, are you going to be safe at your workplace? Although the hours, I'm sure, are very challenging, and you've got to be on. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You have got to be on.
Yes.
But there's also the idea of a potential government shutdown looming. And yeah, you've got a safe place to work, but there might be times where everything just sort of shuts down and we can't pay you. And you might not be able to come to work. And, that whole situation. So, or we need you to work, but we're not going to be able to pay you. So that is not helping anybody that works in a government sector at this point, especially TSA, air traffic control, things along that line. It's kind of a challenging proposition right now. That doesn't exactly go in the job description.
I don't think I mentioned this, but what was it? Was it just the weekend before? It seems like longer ago, but when I went to Amsterdam, the only reason I was able, because I was flying standby, and the only reason I was able to get on the plane, so I flew Milwaukee to Atlanta and then Atlanta to Amsterdam. The only reason I got on the plane in Milwaukee, because it was oversold, was because, and they'd already closed the doors too. Everybody was on, but I've always said, okay, just make sure that the doors are closed. And even if you want to wait longer, make sure the plane is rolling out and then give up on the flight. And the only reason I got on that flight was because someone got kicked off. There was a man who got kicked off the flight. I don't know exactly what was going on because I wasn't on the plane at the time, but something was happening. And the flight attendants can say that, hey, you're not acting appropriately. You're off this plane. He got kicked off and I got the seat. That's the only reason I was able to catch that flight.
I did not know that. That is wild.
That was wild. And I was like, whoa, it's my lucky day. I was so happy. And I told him, I said, thank you. You just made my day. I said, because I took the day off of work for this.
Jeez. It is 1:58 on WTMJ. Giannis Watch continues, the 2 o'clock hour of our program after this.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Better be careful with the crew in Cincinnati. You might get caught red-handed.
Marte's being set. Here's the throw from Perkins. It is going to be in time! Game over!
The Brewers take on the Reds tonight at Great American Ballpark. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 5:35. This series is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategy. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, a mother gets prison time in a death.
I'm Jessica Ty. Federal subpoenas tossed out.
Nice day today, 75 the high inland, little cooler near the lake, a mix of sun and clouds. Mostly clear tonight, low 53. Sunny and nice on Tuesday with a high of 73. 67 degrees in Milwaukee at 2:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a mother charged in the death of her 4-year-old son gets prison time. Cassandra Taylor will serve 5 years in prison after pleading guilty to a lesser charge of harboring or aiding a felon. Prosecutors say she allowed her husband, convicted felon Ralph Taylor, access to a gun. Investigators say the child was shot inside the family's home last July. He died from injuries. Ralph Taylor, convicted of first-degree intentional homicide, sentenced to life in prison without parole earlier this year.
A seasonal worker in Lake Geneva is under arrest, accused of showing explicit material to a coworker who's a minor.
Police say 70-year-old Timothy Conley showed the material on a cell phone to a minor coworker while working at the city's municipal boat launch. The investigation began after the minor reported the incident to authorities. Police have forwarded a charge of exposing a person under 18 to harmful material to the Walworth County District Attorney's Office for review. The city says Conley has been fired for violating policies. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
A long-awaited decision could come later this afternoon on a proposed addiction recovery center in New Berlin. The city's Board of Appeals expected to announce whether the Milwaukee Rescue Mission can move forward with plans for a drug and alcohol recovery facility. The project would house more than 100 men at a time and has faced months of opposition from residents. The board voted earlier this month, but kept its decision private following a closed session meeting.
Justice Department subpoenas linked to ICE raids in Minnesota have been tossed out.
A federal judge on Monday tossed out multiple Justice Department subpoenas that were issued back in January to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and other officials tied to a federal investigation regarding the state's cooperation with immigration enforcement. Patrick Schiltz, the chief judge of the Minnesota Federal District Court, found that the subpoenas were part of a campaign to retaliate and pressure state officials who resisted cooperating with immigration and customs enforcement officers. The federal probe was announced against the backdrop of the Trump administration's aggressive surge in Minnesota that drew widespread protests and led to the deaths of 2 American citizens. Alex Mallon, ABC News, Washington.
Vice President J.D. Vance says his lengthy discussions with senior Iranian officials in Switzerland created a, quote, good foundation for a successful final deal as they seek a permanent end to the war. He cautioned against trying to read into the negotiations after reports he had been snubbed when he arrived and not greeted by the foreign minister of Iran.
I've spent a lot of time dealing with the Iranians over the last few months. Sometimes I find them extremely confusing as negotiators.
Vance claimed the progress on multiple fronts, including the establishment of mechanisms to ensure the Strait of Hormuz stays open. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up about 82 points today at 51,647. NASDAQ keeps dropping here. It's now off about 320 points at 26,198. And the S&P is down about 30 at 7470. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
The buzz is building about a Giannis deal. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
You take pride in your Milwaukee area home. So why let it disappear when the sun goes down? At Blingle Premier Lighting, they create breathtaking landscape lighting that transforms your home into the showpiece of the neighborhood. Elegant uplighting, softly illuminated walkways, architectural lighting that highlights the beauty you've already invested in. Landscape lighting doesn't just make your home look incredible. It adds curb appeal, increases perceived value, improves safety, and creates an experience you enjoy every single night. In fact, it's the one thing homeowners never realize they want until they have it. And once they do, they can't imagine living without it. From luxury landscape lighting to permanent holiday lighting and patio lighting, Blingle designs custom systems built specifically for your home. No hassle, no stress, just a home that looks absolutely stunning after dark. See us at blingle.com/MKE. Blingle Premier Lighting. Your home will never look this beautiful. That's blingle.com/MKE.
Looking to see the world in style? Insight Vacation Journeys are now open for booking through Fox World Travel. Insight redefines travel with business class style motor coaches featuring extra legroom and smaller group sizes for ultimate comfort. From farm to table dining to expert-led tours, you'll truly connect with local cultures. Plus, ask about our upcoming Fox Group vacations for even more exclusive ways to travel. We handle every detail so you can simply relax. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. It's Brandon Woodruff on the mound for the Brewers tonight for the first time since April 30th. Milwaukee begins a 3-game series against the Reds.
I truly have gone through everything, checkpoints and everything to put myself in a good position, so now it's just time to go out there and do it.
Milwaukee begins the day with a record of 46-29. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35. The NBA draft begins Tuesday night. The Bucks currently own the 10th overall selection. All the attention on the future of Giannis after no deal was made over the weekend. ESPN's Brian Windhorst believes the Celtics and Heat are finalists.
Miami in recent days has gone out to try to recruit third and fourth teams to improve their offer. They have what they have. They don't have a premium player. They don't have a Jaylen Brown. The most premium asset that they have to trade is the number 13 pick in tomorrow night's draft, which is a good piece, but it's not Jaylen Brown. So they have gone out to try to enhance their offer.
And the United States men's World Cup team advances to the knockout round of 32. They'll take on Turkey Thursday night. The game means nothing for the United States. They have already advanced to the knockout round. Meanwhile, Turkey is unable to advance based upon their pool play record. So the game is just more of a formality.
Checking Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We do have a new crash. This is in Milwaukee County. 4394 North, very close to Howard Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked because of it. Looks like there is at least one truck involved. Emergency responders are at the scene. This is also one of our construction zone areas. You've got orange barrels just dotting the highway, but mostly way off to the side. I don't see any actual workers in this spot, but heads up, this is a brand new crash. Popped up just a few minutes ago here in Milwaukee County. 4394 North at Howard Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked. Emergency responders are at the scene.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day Storm Team forecast. Cool and dry for the rest of the evening as your highs on Monday only make it to the upper 60s. Tonight we fall to the mid-50s with a few more clouds. Lots of sunshine and slightly warmer for your Tuesday as our highs climb into the low 70s with southeasterly winds only up to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday will be wet as we see an area of low pressure bring scattered showers and maybe a rumble of thunder, but not expecting severe weather throughout the day on Wednesday. Your highs make it to the upper 70s on Wednesday. Scattered showers still possible on Thursday with our highs still below normal. Weather updates are always available at TMJ4.com. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Lauren Larson.
66 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee. It's 2:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
I hope you all had a great weekend, enjoyed Father's Day, spending time with the people you care about the most. We had a great Father's Day, spent a lot of time at the softball diamond. So here's what I'm holding in my hand.
You guys, you have to see this ring his daughter got. That's huge. It's heavy, too. I was holding it earlier.
No, this is legit. So we played in a softball tournament in Mequon, and my daughter plays on a U10 team. I am the head coach. I absolutely love coaching this team. It's a blast. The parents are great. Our coaching staff is a lot of fun. And the kids really enjoy each other's company. Like to me, and they're developing, they're getting better.
Sure.
I mean, all the things. You feel great about it. So we play in a tournament. We get off to kind of a rocky start. But then after a couple of games, they sort of reseed you, and then you have bracket play, right? So you start in like a pool, kind of like the World Cup. You play everybody in your pool, and then they put you into brackets. Well, then we kind of get hot over the weekend, and we start winning a few games, and all of a sudden we're in like the finals of this tournament, and the girls are loving it. We fall a little bit short. But a great experience, fun plays, everybody had meaningful contributions, like everybody feels good about it. And then I thought we were going to get these little medals, which I don't know if you know anything about youth sports. They're usually a little flimsy, but they're kind of cool to put on a nightstand or something like that. Sure. And no, they hand me this pouch of like really cool like rings. I was like, whoa. And
it looks like an NBA
heavy
championship ring. It is heavy. It is blingy. It is gold. And when I saw it,
It's
number
cool.
one, it's beautiful. I'm sure the girls love it. But two, I thought, well, what did the first place team get?
It's a
if
good
second
question.
place got that.
I don't know the answer to that question, but it was very cool. But I mean, a great unexpected reward from a fun weekend. So Father's Day was spent on one of a couple different softball fields at a beautiful park in Mequon, and then having my parents over later that night. So fun Father's Day. Always great to be with the kids.
Well, congrats to the ladies, because second place is definitely something to be proud of.
It was fun.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the Wisconsin governor's race just got smaller. Democrat Missy Hughes has dropped out. The former head of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation suspended her campaign today. In a posting on social media, Hughes said she was proud to run as a first-time candidate, and she's now formally endorsing Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez for the Democratic nomination. That narrows the field down to 6 candidates on the Democratic side, 6 who could challenge Republican gubernatorial frontrunner Congressman Tom Tiffany. And this just makes me wonder who's getting out next, because the field is still very large on the Democratic side with 6. And at some point, you got to narrow it down more.
Well, it's still a massive field, like you mentioned. I'm curious to see what the advertising looks like, because I think to a degree, most of these people have worked with each other. I think most get along. I don't know if everybody does. But Joel Brennan's first advertisements were about him and his family and his background, not attacking somebody else in the field.
It featured his kids.
It featured his kids, and I think there's more coming. But I'll be curious to see, as these TV ads specifically start getting up and running, if they are more focused on the individual versus what the other person can't do or missteps they made somewhere along the way. I'm always curious about that kind of stuff with political advertising. Number 2, the man accused of murdering political activist Charlie Kirk in court today. A judge declining a defense request to punish prosecutors for talking publicly about reports that bullet fragments found in the body of Kirk did not match the gun Tyler Robinson allegedly used. News Nation's Nancy Liu with an update.
The judge later unsealed the full ATF report, which found that while a bullet fragment match was inconclusive, there was a confirmed match between the suspected murder weapon and a spent casing at the scene. Now, the major hearing in this case, scheduled for July 6th, prosecutors will have to prove that they have enough evidence here to warrant a trial.
So what does it mean? As a result of the judge's ruling, prosecutors will be able to seek the death penalty. We'll see if it gets to that point, but a step, I suppose, in that direction today as Charlie Kirk's accused killer was in court. It's 2:14 on WTMJ. We're hitting the refresh button frequently here on Wisconsin's Midday News as Giannis watch continues as we approach about 27 hours until the start of the NBA draft. The latest after this.
When it's time to explore assisted living, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association to promote whereyouLiveMatters.org. I'm Mike from the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association. For over 30 years, our organization of more than 2,000 facility members has led through advocacy, education, and support to help advance quality care. That's why Wisconsin families trust WALA. When it's time to search for assisted living for yourself or a loved one, visit whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Well, the folks at Gruber Law Offices know that if you're in an accident, it can really flip your world upside down. The folks at Gruber have been helping those injured in accidents for 40 years here in the state of Wisconsin, doing right, allowing you to focus on healing while they focus on fighting your legal battle. With a large and powerful team of attorneys, Gruber maintains its community approach. They are fighting for you. They are family run, but they are also a large and powerful team of attorneys ready to fight your legal battle. Serving the state of Wisconsin for 40 years and giving back to the community, that's all so important to the folks at Gruber. Well, it's hard to think of a community-minded event where Gruber is not behind it. Had the dog walk over the weekend in Milwaukee, such a great family-friendly event. The folks at Gruber were behind it. When we broadcast at Summerfest, we're adjacent to the Gruber Law Office's sports zone. They give back to the community, they fight and win your legal battle. Simply put, locally known and nationally recognized Gruber Law Offices. Check out gruber-law.com, learn about the firm, in addition to what they do in the community. And if you've been hurt in an accident, you call 414-276-6666.
When I first started Abbey Home 16 years ago, I only chose windows that I'd put on my own home. The same holds true today. Triple pane, lifetime warranted windows that are of the highest quality, made for our northern climate. Get them installed the right way from Abbey Home and never have to worry about windows again. Right now, get 50% off installation on all new windows. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Go to abbeyhome.com today. Or give us a call, 414-436-ABBY, 414-436-2229.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring great tips on how to operate your home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Overall, pretty nice day. Warmer temperatures inland today with a high of about 75 degrees. And a little cooler near the lake, the high topping out about 68 degrees. No rain in the forecast, a little mix of sun and clouds. Overnight low 53. Tomorrow looks pleasant with a high of 73 degrees. Looks like Wednesday could be a soggy day. Thunderstorms are possible, though nothing severe in the forecast, at least not yet. We'll kind of monitor that. But Lauren Larson indicated some of our northern communities here could receive upwards of an inch of rain or more, maybe a little bit less to the south of Fond du Lac or Sheboygan. things could change, but keep an eye on it because rain definitely in the forecast here for Wednesday with a high of 78. Thursday and Friday look nice with highs in the mid-70s. Should be a pretty good amount of sunshine. It's 67 and partly cloudy in Milwaukee at 217. So according to the industry experts, the Bucks are in a bit of a conundrum right now with, I don't think what to do with Giannis, but where to trade him. Because I do believe Giannis will be traded in the next, 30 hours or so. I'd like to think probably more so in the next 24 hours if the Bucks are going to go into this draft with additional draft compensation. I think they'd like to have things sized up before you get to that 6, 7 o'clock hour tomorrow.
I was talking in one of our first hours about the local draft parties, the draft watch parties that are happening tomorrow night, and I just wonder what the mood is going to be in Milwaukee at those parties, because what is going to happen and what will we be celebrating or not celebrating, right? Well, on that note, before the show, I also was curious just about what are the headlines in the other cities. So you take a look, of course, we know what we're talking about here on 620 WTMJ. We know what the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel has, but what are the headlines in the Miami Herald, or what about the Boston Herald? Miami Herald, the Miami Heat will host an NBA draft party Tuesday night, but it is still not clear what fans will be celebrating at that draft party. Will the event turn into a celebration of the Heat's acquisition of Milwaukee Bucks two-time NBA MVP forward Giannis Antetokounmpo? Or will it actually be a party to welcome the Heat's new first-round draft pick to Miami? The article in the Miami Herald goes on to say that will be decided in the coming hours as the Heat remains in aggressive pursuit of a trade for Antetokounmpo.
Wow. Yeah, so here's what the Bucks are weighing. If it's down to the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat, those trade packages look very different, right? The Heat have a lot of young talent. They've got a high draft pick, number 13 overall. The Celtics have a star that could come back to Milwaukee in this. Probably the best overall player, if you want to look at both teams coming back to the Bucks in exchange for Giannis, would come from the Boston Celtics, but the Heat would give more. So that's kind of what they're looking at.
It's Jaylen Brown plus assets, potentially with another first-round pick, maybe the 27th pick in the draft. Jaylen Brown plus assets, to me, is a great trade. I would say, well, why has Milwaukee not done it? And I speculate that Milwaukee is trying to decide, do we want a team around Jaylen Brown, or do we want a total refresh where we can get maybe 3 first-round picks from Miami, pick swaps, young players, the 13th pick in this draft? They have the 10th pick. They could draft 10 and 13, or they could package those together and try to move up. Milwaukee's trying to pick a path of their organization.
Yeah, what do you do? Young, kind of not using the rebuilding word, but they would use refresh or retooling. But you're going young. You're trying to acquire draft capital and see what you can do. Become young and exciting and build your way to the top like the Oklahoma City Thunder did. Or with the Celtics, it's a 5-time All-Star and NBA Finals MVP that, according to these reports, would be coming back to the Bucks. He's a couple years younger than Giannis. There would likely be some draft assets there as well. So it's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel here for the Bucks.
Yeah, very different. And I mentioned what the Miami Herald was saying, but if you look over at the Boston Herald, they say the Celtics reportedly all in on Giannis Antetokounmpo and willing to trade Jaylen Brown to land the two-time NBA MVP. And I was just taking a peek. I saw something come down on X, and it looked like it was from Jaylen Brown. He must have a stream on Twitch.
Yeah.
And he was saying, I don't know exactly where he is, but it looks like he's out on some track. Looks like some track field here. And he says, I was listening to it, he basically says to all the people who have doubted me, that want me to do this or want me traded, you are turning me into a monster.
Anybody who is snubbing Jaylen Brown, then perhaps should beware, right? Don't do that. Meanwhile, Kyle Kuzma, who also plays for the Bucks, or I should say is under contract with the Bucks, has his own X feed, and he just sent out a bunch of emojis of bombs.
I saw that this morning when I was getting ready. I'm like, what does this mean? He also said something like, big announcement coming soon. And I can't remember if that was before he sent out the bombs or afterwards.
Well, it's a very busy time in the NBA. Now, let's make the argument that Giannis doesn't get traded before the draft. Well, then what happens? That's a very good question. Because phase 2 of Giannis Watch is coming to an end. And there will be some sort of resolution. Either he's traded or he's not traded. But then phase 3 begins if he's not traded. Because he's only under contract for 1 more year. There's no guarantee he would sign a long-term extension with the Bucks. There's no guarantee the Bucks want him for the long term, although there are conflicting reports on that. It boils down to this for me. I think the Bucks' relationship with Giannis has been fractured over the last year especially. More public frustration being aired in the media.
We've seen that. We've heard it.
The people involved are different than when Giannis was drafted by the Bucks. So I don't think Giannis is a changed man. I think the circumstances around him have certainly changed, and it has soured his opinion on the Milwaukee Bucks franchise. Not the city of Milwaukee, but the Bucks franchise. And I think the Bucks are ready to move on. I think Giannis is ready to move on, and I think we'll have resolution in less than 24 hours.
Are fans ready to move on?
I don't know about
Some
that.
are. Some aren't.
Yeah.
One of our fans from the 414 wrote in earlier, Giannis is gone. Era over.
Yeah.
Period.
I was there for the era pre-Giannis. It wasn't pretty. It was not pretty.
I'm telling you, I remember coming back to Milwaukee after, going to school in Indiana and traveling the country for my job and coming back. And I've always been a Bucks fan. I've been a Bucks fan since I was a kid. My mom would point out then owner Herb Cole. She'd be like, that's Herb Cole, our senator and whatnot. I mean, I have all those memories. I love Bango, the old school Bango from like the 70s and whatnot. So I've always been a Bucks fan. But I remember coming back to Milwaukee, and my news director at the time, she must have gotten a phone call. Hey, do you guys want to give away some Milwaukee Bucks tickets? So she came to us and said, do you guys want to give away Milwaukee Bucks tickets on the show? And I said, heck yes. This is a question. Of course we want to. And I know they were bad, but I just said, this is such an experience for people, and it gets expensive for families to go to games. So I said, people will still jump at these tickets. Yes, we definitely want to give them away. But years later, fast forward, no way you were having that opportunity to just give away Bucks tickets on your show. That wasn't happening. And so it's just been wild to see the progression. And man, has it been fun.
Well, it's going to play out here over the course of time. But as we explained, two different looking trade offers here for the Bucks. Here's another talking head.
With Boston, it's Jaylen Brown-led package. It's around a veteran player, obviously a superstar caliber player. In Miami, it's a group of cost-controlled players, rookie-scale contracts, significant draft capital in that deal. But these have been intense negotiations. They've been open for business since the draft combine. Giannis, my understanding right now, he is ready to be traded. Either Boston, either Miami.
It's the same people saying the same thing in just different ways.
The Celtics are stone cold sober, think they're not as good as the Knicks. They're not sure they're going to be as good as the Pacers next year when they come back fully healthy, and they believe they need to upgrade their team. And I am now speculating that if Jaylen Brown doesn't get traded for Giannis, they may trade him somewhere else. So that is one of the things that emerged. Now, Miami understands this. Miami understands that Jaylen Brown is in there. They can't match that. Miami, in recent days, has gone out to try to recruit third and fourth teams to improve their offer. They have what they have. They don't have a premium player. They don't have a Jaylen Brown. The most premium asset that they have to trade is the number 13 pick in tomorrow night's draft, which is a good piece, but it's not Jaylen Brown. So they have gone out to try to enhance their offer.
And there we are.
Remember, wasn't it just a few months back when Giannis said, I'm the hottest chick in the game right now? Because everybody was talking about him. That would be today as well.
2:25 here on WTMJ. We've got news coming up in just a few minutes. Wisconsin's Midday News podcast, built by Siding Unlimited. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And also, whenever or wherever you're listening, just know we're on YouTube as well. Watch the show. See what's happening in the studio. Comment. You can just search 620 WTMJ on YouTube and subscribe today.
Not all roofing contractors are created equal, and homeowners know the difference. Ridgetop Exteriors has been the local, trusted choice since 2002. Upfront pricing, expert crews, manufacturer-backed warranties, and over 40,000 completed projects backed by thousands of five-star reviews from your neighbors. No surprises, no runarounds, just honest work from people who live and work right here in our community. Call Ridgetop Exteriors for a free estimate. Ridgetop Exteriors, the easy choice for your home.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Hey, time is running out, but you still have time to become a champion at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Greg Matzik here. You can join Bernie Brewer on his exciting $300,000 journey. You could end up scoring some big-time prizes here. Play through the 25th with thousands in cash and reward play up for grabs. And all of your Bernie's Journey entries go into the Big League Series and Grand Finale drawings. That'll be Friday, June 26th. Again, this is only at Potawatomi. More information is available online. Must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play. And if you're looking for a place to watch the game, whatever the game is, you will see it at Potawatomi's beautiful sports book. You got to check it out. It is a little over a year old, about a year and a half, and it is an unbelievable place to watch. 2 levels for your viewing pleasure, great food and drinks, and unbelievably comfortable seating, and that 2,000 square foot video wall. Nothing like it. It's only at Potawatomi.
this message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Are you the Weston from Hasselus Mattress?
That's me.
I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, well, thanks.
The way you talk about employee-free Hasselus showroom, free next-day delivery, and prices that are way low. I mean, nobody does it better.
I don't know what to say.
Say that I can get a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest mattress.
Okay. Now through Monday, at Hasselus, get a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest mattress.
Awesome.
You know what's really awesome? You can get a Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Queen Elm Cove A mattress. Others sell it for $1,459, but Hasselus has it for just $794.
I know. I have that tattooed on my...
Wow, you really are a fan.
Told ya.
Save big and get a free box spring through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Monday, June 22nd. Your top story, a trial date set in the death of a teen's mother.
I'm Jessica Ty. A championship weekend for girls soccer.
A little mix of sun and clouds the rest of the day here. 75 inland, 68 near Lake Michigan. Sunny and comfortable on Tuesday with a high of 73. Looks like a good chance of rain on Wednesday with a high of 78.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Talks progressing between the U.S. and Iran on a peace deal. Vice President J.D. Vance says Iran agreeing to allow nuclear inspectors in, and the U.S. giving a 60-day waiver on sanctions on Iranian oil. Shipping traffic through the Strait of Hormuz starting to increase. That's helping gas prices drop in the U.S. Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan says it will take time to return to pre-war prices.
With crude oil now down about 2.5% this morning, the weekend's activities may not lead to an increase in prices. In fact, it looks like consumers may see a seventh straight week of gas prices declining. But of course, there's a lot of twists and turns in the story, so that could change at a moment's notice.
Thunderstorms from the Midwest to the East Coast causing delays and cancellations at key airports. There are more than 545 cancellations nationwide, with the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic airports seeing the most cancellations. And on Wall Street, stocks are mixed, with SpaceX dragging on tech shares. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. Well, the trial date is set for a teen accused of killing his mother in a Menendez brothers-inspired murder. Reed Galinsky plans to plead not guilty by reason of mental defect or disease when he heads to trial in February of 2027. Lawyers are requesting more time for a private independent evaluation. Galinsky was 15 years old when his mother, Suzanne, was found beaten and stabbed to death in their Franksville home in March of 2025. Prosecutors say he was inspired by the Menendez brothers documentary on Netflix and made plans to kill both of his parents. Father was not harmed.
A barn is destroyed after an early morning fire in Washington County.
Shady box level,
for a barn fire at the address of 7955 Trading Post Trail. The staging will be at Trading Post in Cheeseville.
That's audio courtesy of Broadcastify. Fire crews responded around 4:45 this morning to Gutman Dairy Farm in the town of Farmington. A passerby heard an electrical buzzing sound and saw smoke and flames coming from the east side of the barn. No one was hurt, and luckily none of the dairy cattle were harmed. But the barn, which included a milking parlor, does have an estimated $1 million in damage. Fire investigators do not believe the fire was suspicious.
The next Miss Wisconsin is crowned.
Miss River City Jordan Butler is now Miss Wisconsin. She won preliminary talent, evening gown, and health and fitness award honors at the competition. The Unalaska native studied marketing and performed in competitive dance groups at Viterbo University. Butler has competed in state competitions since she was 13 and won Miss Wisconsin's teen in 2015. She will compete for the Miss America title in September. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Well, how about this? A championship weekend for several Milwaukee area schools.
Divine Savior Holy Angels won the Division I girls soccer title, ending Muskego's run of 4 straight championships. Brookfield Central repeated as Division II champions with a 5-0 win over Wauwatosa East, while Prairie School and Racine captured the Division IV title. On the baseball diamond, Pewaukee High School claimed its first state championship in program history, beating Kenosha St. Joseph Catholic in the Division II title game. Cedar Grove, Belgium captured its first ever state championship with a win in Division III. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
And former Brewers general managers Doug Melvin and Gord Ash will be drafting opposing teams for next month's Brewers Alumni Legends game at American Family Field. Melvin tells WTMJ he's confident the players are going to be ready and excited.
Yeah, Thursday prior to the game. So we got lots of time to make phone calls if we want to call in these guys and ask them if kind of shape they're in or whatever. But I trust them. They'll be coming to camp coming to Milwaukee full of energy and ready to go. And
more than 30 former Brewers are scheduled to participate, including Ryan Braun, Corey Hart, and Jonathan Lucroy. Should be a great night. The game is scheduled for July 24th at American Family Field.
There is a possibility that any minute now we find out what is going to happen with Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I can't even concentrate. I've just been hitting refresh on my X feed all day.
And then there's a possibility that this whole day goes on and we hear nothing.
Also true.
There's also a possibility that the NBA draft starts tomorrow, the first round. We still find Giannis on the Bucks.
There's
so many possibilities. Yeah. So people get ulcers. Yes, it is. But we're talking about it. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is coming up on 2:35.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield. Or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geiss.
At Associated Bank, we know you want your kids to be smart with money. So you know what we thought was smart? Making sure money speaks your language. Debit cards for kids? Your kid gets a debit card you can open online in minutes. Parental controls? Parents, you still get to see how they spend, so you have some control. And Credit Monitor? Your money lessons add up to a credit score you'll all be proud of. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. It's Brandon Woodruff on the mound tonight for the Brewers for the first time since April 30th. Milwaukee begins a 3-game series against the Reds.
I truly have gone through everything, checkpoints and everything to put myself in a good position. So now it's just time to go out there and do it.
Brewers begin the day with a record of 46-29. Coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 5:35. NBA draft begins Tuesday night. The Bucks currently own the 10th overall selection. All the attention on the future of Giannis. No deal reached over the weekend. What are the Bucks trying to sort out here?
It's Jaylen Brown plus assets, potentially with another first-round pick, maybe the 27th pick in the draft. Jaylen Brown plus assets, to me, is a great trade. I would say, well, why has Milwaukee not done it? And I speculate that Milwaukee is trying to decide, do we want a team around Jaylen Brown, or do we want a total refresh where we can get maybe 3 first-round picks from Miami, pick swaps, young players, the 13th pick in this draft? They have the 10th pick. They could draft 10 and 13, or they could package those together and try to move up. Milwaukee's trying to pick a path of their organization.
Yeah, refresh or add a star in Jaylen Brown. The NBA draft begins Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. United States takes on Turkey in the World Cup on Thursday.
Let's get you an update real quickly here on the roads because we do have some new crashes. I-94 West at the ramp from St. Paul Avenue. That is a very busy spot. We also have our construction zone just a little bit ahead of that. And we do have a crash possibly involving 3 vehicles. I also see some motorcycles out at the scene, but it looks like those are 2 cops on the motorcycles there. Traffic is slowing down, definitely slowing down. Oh, yep, now as the camera zooms in, I can see it more. Definitely 3 cars involved in this one. It looks like at some point I can see a lot of damage on the second vehicle. They've zoomed it in so far now. I just see the big Ford truck and the license plate. Bottom line here, this is going to impact traffic for a while. 94 West at the ramp from St. Paul Avenue. Left lane is blocked due to a new crash. We also have one more crash I want to let you know about. This one, US 45 North to I-43 East. Right at 45 North, the left lane is closed due to a crash. It looks like somebody went off the road in that case. What I'm seeing right now looks like it could be part of a tractor trailer that's off of the grassy median.
From TMJ4, I'm meteorologist Lauren Larson with your 5-day Storm Team forecast. Cool and dry for the rest of the evening as your highs on Monday only make it to the upper 60s. Tonight we fall to the mid 50s with a few more clouds. Lots of sunshine and slightly warmer for your Tuesday as our highs climb into the low 70s with southeasterly winds only up to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday will be wet as we see an area of low pressure bring scattered showers and maybe a rumble of thunder, but not expecting severe weather throughout the day on Wednesday. Your highs make it to the upper 70s on Wednesday. Scattered showers still possible on Thursday with our highs still below normal. Weather updates are always available at TMJ4.com. I'm Storm Team 4 meteorologist Lauren Larson.
67 degrees and partly cloudy in Milwaukee. It's 2:40. Well, the Trump administration today saying progress is being made in negotiations with Iran, issuing a waiver to sanction Iranian oil. Trying to sort this out. Is the information that we are reporting here similar to the information that is being reported overseas? Wanted to check in with ABC News correspondent Jordana Miller from Jerusalem. Jordana, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. We are getting similar information here in Israel about the talks, but I think the take on it or the analysis is very different from that of the Trump administration. First of all, we've seen that Vice President J.D. Vance has really struck a optimistic tone about these talks, saying that they set down the foundation for progress in these talks and a foundation to really build out the agreement, the final deal, which is supposed to happen in the next 60 days through negotiations. And likely that deadline will be extended because there's so many issues to tackle just on the nuclear issue. But here in
Oh, looks like we briefly lost our connection with Jordana, but it is an interesting thing to think about. Everything that we're talking about here, the information that's being disseminated, what we're reporting, what those who are in the nation's capital are reporting based upon conversations they're having, based upon what the administration is saying. What is the sentiment overseas? Is it, okay, yes, we are having these discussions with the United States. As we are reporting here, discussions are happening with Iranian officials. I'm curious how the information is being believed and disseminated overseas.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it was yesterday. A lot of times as I'm getting ready on the weekends, I'll listen to a podcast. And I think at some point I was just perusing real quickly on X and looking at the latest headlines. And I see Strait of Hormuz closed again. And I think I said out loud, you're kidding. Here we go again. I mean, it's so much back and forth. And there really weren't even that many ships that were getting through when it was open for that short time. And I mean, that matters. All of that matters to us. And it matters when it comes to prices. Looks like we have Jordana back. Jordana, I was mentioning that over the weekend, all of a sudden I was looking at the headlines and I saw Strait of Hormuz closed again. And I thought, oh, goodness, here we go again. And all of that matters to us when it comes to gas and oil, what's happening over there, when it comes to the cost of what we are buying at the store. Do we have any idea how many ships were getting through in the first place when there was that reopening for a time?
So first of all, the Iranians said that they had shut the strait again on Saturday, but the U.S. disputed that. And actually, according to data, at least 12 or 15 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz on Sunday. And today, again, there is some traffic across or through the strait. Now, it obviously is still a far away from the pre-war levels, which were about 100 vessels a day going through. And part of the problem is that some of the lanes have been mined by the Iranians, and it's going to take time to demine those lanes. And that was also something that the vice president said was discussed in the talks in Switzerland. But I think we're going to really have to wait another several weeks until we see more traffic through the strait, and that will continue to bring down oil and gas prices, which obviously fell on the news that the U.S. and Iran had struck a deal. But, you know, in order for them to really go back to pre-war levels, there has to be that traffic, you know, the traffic really has to be flowing again at pre-war levels, and we're just not there yet.
Have you or any of your colleagues been able to talk with any of the captains of these ships? I just can't imagine what they are thinking and what they are dealing with. I mean, we're all worried about what's happening, whether the strait is open or closed, but they're worried about, can I get through with me and my people, and can I do so safely?
Right. It has to be a terrifying experience, I think, for some of these vessels, which have to kind of, even in this post-MOU period, right, when the U.S. and Iran have signed this deal, we're still seeing reports that some of the vessels are going through with all of their radar and lights off, as if they are sneaking across, even though the strait is technically open, right? And so I think it has to be a really harrowing experience to worry that possibly you're going to hit a mine that no one really knew was there, right? So I think it's got to be terrifying. But we know that in the talks, there was a new kind of communication mechanism set up for the parties to deal directly with the Strait of Hormuz. And I think that will make it harder for the Iranians to take kind of unilateral steps. And, you know, they'll have a harder time just announcing willy-nilly, you know, we've shut the Strait of Hormuz, which is what they did over the weekend. At least they said that, even if it didn't happen entirely. Because obviously the United States has realized that through this war, the Iranians really realized that they have a very powerful weapon, which is controlling the Strait of Hormuz. And there are fears that the Iranians are going to use that card even during the negotiations, when they're frustrated, when they don't get what they want, when the demands are too high, that they will retreat and say we're closing the Strait of Hormuz.
So President Trump is weighing in on social media, Jordana, suggesting that Iran will have to agree to major weapons inspections in order to ensure what he calls nuclear honesty long into the future. But inspections were also included in a nuclear agreement reached during the Obama administration. And apparently that nuclear honesty, Iran perhaps didn't follow the guidelines here, as they have built quite a program. Otherwise, we wouldn't really be seeking that as a deal point. So is there belief that just if Iran agrees to this deal point, that they'll still follow it?
Well, I think there's always a question when it comes to the Iranians about trust and accountability and if they'll actually follow through with the deal. I mean, the Israelis 100% think the Iranians will covertly try to build a nuclear weapon, whether there's a deal or whether there's not a deal. And so they don't trust any deal. For the Israelis, they really won't be satisfied until the regime is gone. And we've learned through this war that the regime was able to stand and, and stay in power, and that they were not quite as fragile as many had assumed. But letting in UN inspectors to look at the nuclear facilities, the Iranians had done that for a long time before President Trump pulled out of the previous deal between the United States and Iran that was brokered by former President Barack Obama. So, it's not something new to allow inspectors in. And even when inspectors were allowed in, the Iranians kept them out of some sites. And it was a problem. It was never a troubleshooting free endeavor to have people come in and try to check on the Iranians. They were always trying to play games a bit with the inspectors. But certainly it's better to have inspectors there than have nobody, right? So this would be a step in progress.
Sure, certainly a new condition. So what should we be watching over the next 24 to 48 hours that will tell us whether this diplomatic effort is truly gaining momentum or starting to fall apart again?
Well, I think watching to see what else happens in Switzerland, even though the vice president has left and the main Iranian negotiators have left, there's still going to be a series of talks on technical issues by the lower level delegations. So I think that'll be important to watch. And then, of course, Lebanon. Will the Israelis and Hezbollah hold their fire? For how long? And might we see the Israelis pull out from some areas of Lebanon, if not all of Lebanon, since the Israelis have been clear they're not going to leave the entire buffer zone, but there's still some wiggle room for the Israelis to leave certain areas and allow the Lebanese government, Lebanese army to come in. So we may see some movement there, and I think that'll also be important. The question that everyone will be asking is it enough for the Israelis to pull out a little bit and to stop the fighting for the Iranians to continue with the talks, or are the Iranians going to really dig their heels in and say, we're not moving forward with any of this unless the Israelis get out of Lebanon?
Well, discussions continue today in Switzerland, where Vice President J.D. Vance is. And that was kind of a question mark, too. Jordana was supposed to be there Friday, and it didn't happen, and it just didn't work out. We thought, oh, boy, here it goes. This thing is going to blow up in front of us. Well, good news is he is in Switzerland, and they are at the table. So I guess that is progress, even though it seems like a tenuous situation.
I think, it is progress. There's no doubt that the fact that the Americans and the Iranians were able to meet so quickly after signing the MOU and try to, again, build more of a long-term framework for these talks and map out some of the issues. It's going to be a lot of technical and difficult and thorny negotiations, and it's good that it started, as quickly as possible. Mind you, the Iranians had a very good incentive to sit down with the U.S. right away, and that was that they were pushing for the waivers so that they can sell their oil on the open market, which they got today.
ABC's Jordana Miller reporting from Jerusalem. Jordana, we always appreciate your time. Stay safe out there. We'll check in again soon.
Okay, talk soon.
Thank you so much. Jordana Miller from Jerusalem. It's 2:51 on WTMJ. We'll wrap up the program. Some final thoughts after this.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year, but for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. I am a big fan, big-time fan. We always have at least a couple in the freezer, and when the stock gets down to 1 or 2, I always like to get a couple of different pizzas made by Palermo's. Connie's Urban Pie. Neighborhood Pizzeria pizza is also delicious. My favorite is Screamin' Sicilian. That is fantastic. Love the thin and crispy and the original. Pick your pizza, whatever you want, just as long as you make it Palermo's. Wisconsin's hometown pizza right now has a buy one, get one offer going on to the end of the month. So stock up and save at Pick and Save and Metro Market stores on Screamin' Sicilian Pizza. Buy one, get one through the end of June at Pick and Save and Metro Market stores. Made by Palermo's right here in the state of Wisconsin, 60 years going strong, making the best frozen pizza you will find. It's Wisconsin's hometown pizza, Palermo's.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course. Rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Oh boy, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mine Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Mine Chef is family owned, understands inflation hurts. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza absolutely free. Any size, any quantity, you buy one, get one free. Buy 2, get 2 free. Buy 10 pizzas, get 10 free pizzas. Business owners, managers, bring in pizza for your hardworking employees and your key clients. They're going to love it because it's delicious pizza and your second pizza's free, saving your company a ton of money. Bring your family in today for free pizza. Your kids will love that world-class game room, the Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and near EAA and Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Lots of seating, lots of close parking. No need to cook. Don't think about cleaning today. Mondays can be tough enough. Buy one pizza, get one free at the Mine Shaft. Plenty to take home for tomorrow. Desserts, and I love their desserts, are also buy one, get one free. Just walk in today for your free Monday pizza, mineshaftrestaurant.com.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Well, hot off the press here, the World Naked Bike Ride returns to Milwaukee this weekend, Saturday, June 27th.
Oh, you really are jumping on this early.
I know where you will be.
I thought you were joking.
No.
I thought we were going to talk about this on Friday, but you're real excited about it.
We're going to talk about it every day here on the program. Why wouldn't we? Why would we not talk about hundreds of Milwaukee cyclists bearing all?
It just seems uncomfortable.
It does. You don't want to sit. I don't think, right? There's a stickiness factor there I think you want to avoid. If your bike doesn't have a seat, that's also a big-time issue. There could be some problems there, right?
You have to bike not sitting down.
Yes, that would be the case. Bear as you dare here. This is being called a protestival Here in Milwaukee, I guess a demonstration against fossil fuels and advocating for cyclist safety. So I guess it's a protest of some sorts, but it's a protestival. But it's the World Naked Bike Ride, Saturday, June 27th. I know where John McCure will be as well.
Well, if you like to feel the breeze, there you go.
It's 2:56. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is coming up next.
Everyone needs a plumber in their contacts list. And I've got yours, Vince Vitrano here. It's Horner Plumbing. We had a big job on the Vitrano home, needed to move the water hookups for the washer dryer and refrigerator.